And here we are, right on time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Game Master Roundtable. Happy Thursday to you. And good to see everybody. It's been a few weeks, and we have something that is going to be absolutely insane tonight. Guaranteed. No pressure on Josiah, but it is going to be absolutely insane.
So listen, my best DMing under pressure.
Yeah, there you go, man. All right, yeah, it's gonna be good. So let's introduce everybody. Welcome to the Game Master Roundtable, and we are going to do a two-parter. Part 1 is tonight, and part 2 will be in about 3 weeks. And we are going to be introduced to Mork Borg, and let's do some introductions. And I will just go in order that everyone sees them on the screen. So we're going to start with you, Josiah. You are in the red square. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, like Celebrity Squares, whatever that show's called. Yeah, that's me, Josiah, Dungeon Dad. I make content mostly about D&D monsters. And today we're gonna kill some people. Maybe. Allegedly.
Oh man, right out of the gate. In the blue square, we have AJ Pickett.
Hey everybody, I make YouTube videos like everybody else here. I've got a Kickstarter going at the moment for SILICONE BATTLEMATS. Go back it.
And there is a link to that in the description below. And there's only 3 or 4 days left. So we need some folks to go over there and help push that through the finish line.
They're good for the environment and okay for you.
Yeah. In the yellow square, we have Fred from How to RPG.
Hi, I'm Fred. I basically do YouTube like everybody else here about everything under the sun. And I've done a review on this where I was scathing and quite ruthless about my opinion of this thing. Apparently, I may like it or may dislike it. And the only reason I really like it is because it might convince other people who don't know anything about role-playing games that I worship Satan. Put that on the coffee table and you can guarantee they will think you worship Satan.
Yeah, or a Black Magic the Gathering deck. That did the trick for me. Got me kicked out of a Christian lady's house. Not kidding.
Oh, the Taroka deck? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
No. It was Magic the Gathering.
Oh, Magic the Gathering. Oh, gotcha.
Was she just mad that you were playing Control?
She was going through my stuff and she found some Magic the Gathering cards and she kicked me out of her house by note. I got home from work and found that, please leave the house before I get home.
You know, next time I go to the dentist, I want to take a copy of Mork Borg and just leave it there with the rest of the magazines and see what happens.
Great idea.
What is this, Ethel? I don't know.
Well, look at these pictures. In the orange square, we have Mr. Bear Bard.
Hey, I've never heard of YouTube before, so I'm the kind of I'm the Bear Bard. I'm kind of here. I do TTRPG horror stories. I also have that second channel where I'm doing video games and media stuff like Witcher and all that. So kind of new, shorter content. But I also had to hide this book from my son because it terrified him. He was 4 at the time. So.
Ooh.
I love it. And in the purple square, we have Dungeon Master Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh, or my YouTube channel is Dungeon Master Josh, where I make videos helping you run better online games about, different VTTs and how to leverage those.
And in the green square is myself. I am Wally DM. I do a YouTube channel that's focused on puzzles and traps. And I also, since we're kind of talking about Mork Borg, I want to share this. I even prepared a graphic slide here for you. I'm going to remove the Mork Borg and I'm going to replace it with this. I have a book called The Journal of Puzzle Encounters, and fun story about this. In 2021, it was nominated for an Emmy. And as you can see on the screen for Best Supplement, Wally DM's Journal of Puzzle Encounters. So what's that? What is that right above it? Mork Borg. Gold winner. What? What?
Didn't get one. They got 4. 4. Who would have believed it?
You can hear about this story on the Fireside Chat with the Bear Bard.
Yeah, that's true. We talked about that, didn't we? All right. I'm going to turn things over. Josiah, it's your show.
Hell yeah. Great. Welcome to the most miserable RPG of all time. So Mork Borg, just I think most people that like are going to be playing today, all of you guys, I think probably have a good understanding on kind of what to expect here, but just for the benefit of anyone watching, and also I don't like to make assumptions about people's game history. Mork Borg is basically the antithesis of Dungeons and Dragons. It is the exact opposite of almost everything that you expect. It is not heroic fantasy. It is just like misery and death and decay. And I'll put it to you this way. In Dungeons and Dragons, you often set out with the goal of like slaying a beast. In Mork Borg, if you get into combat, you've already failed. Like something has gone wrong if you're fighting. And once you get into combat, it is very easy to die. Characters are designed with death in mind. It is possible to roll a character with 1 hit point in this game, and the game just says figure it out. And that's okay because it's also really easy to generate characters. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to see how this goes. Depending on how long this takes, we might do character generation and then play a little bit before we wrap it up in part 2. Or today might just be character generation and kind of talking about the game. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so Mork Borg definitely kind of turns on its head a lot of things that you expect from RPGs. The first of which is something that we need to decide as a group. I don't think this will come up because we're basically doing this as a one-shot, but we're still going to do it just in case, is the overall world of Mork Borg, which means dark fort in Swedish, for those who are curious, is the apocalypse is coming. Like it's medieval dark fantasy. The world is ending. And there is a mechanic where every day at dawn, the game master rolls a dice. And on a result of 1 of the 7 seals is broken. And that means a bad thing happens that like affects the whole world. And when all 7 are broken, the game ends. Specifically, if you go rules as written, it says burn the book. I'm probably not going to do that because it was like $40. But yeah. So the thing we need to decide is like how far gone is this world, because you can go from like a D100, which means there's probably like many years left before anything bad is really going to happen. Maybe someone can even rise to the challenge and do something to avert that apocalypse, because I mean rolling, that's a 1% chance every day that something will escalate. And you can go all the way up to a coin flip where it's like every day there's a 50% chance that like something is bad is going to happen, and after 7 successes or failures, depending on how you want to look at it, the game is just over. For something like this, where we're planning on a 1 or 2-ish shot, I feel like rolling a D20 is a happy medium, because you have a 5% chance every day of like things escalating. But I want to. I see Fred holding the coin over there, like just itching for the Book of Revelations. But yeah, so that is something we need to decide as a group, is like how far gone is this version of the world. What do you guys think?
I think a D20 is good.
I think the D20 is reasonable.
I'm fine with a D20, but I'm also fine with a coin flip, because I figure you've got to get, how are you going to squeeze 7 disasters in before the world completely explodes?
That's why I said it's probably not going to happen. Like we might even only go through like a couple days during the course of this 1 or 2 shot. So there might only be a couple opportunities to roll.
See,
but
here's what we do. We roll a D6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then whoever that lands on, each one of us is a number. Whoever it lands on, the world is as gone as our hairline. So if we roll on me, we're screwed. We roll on Josiah, we're good. You know what I'm saying? So that's I think that's the only real fair way. Okay, maybe this world's screwed. Never mind. It's like a 50-50 shot at this point. 40%.
You know, I'm not for certain, but I think I read that in the rule book somewhere. I thought I seen a page.
Yeah, honestly, with this rule book, if you read through it, it could have been in that rule book. I'm not. Yeah. When he said when he said burn the book, it's actually true.
Yes,
like it's actually in there. It tells you to burn the book.
This rule book is a very much an experimental presentation. It is like the first time I looked at this, I was like, "What the fuck am I reading? And then I just was like, okay, people are like crazy with this. I'm just gonna read it cover to cover. And by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, okay, I get it. Like the presentation is part of the allure. And it leaves enough up to the imagination that yeah, it's like there's your hit points, like you have a big heart, and like it's not like here's a table that you roll. Like this is something that if you showed this to a designer at like Paizo or Wizards of the Coast, they'd be like, get this shit away from me. Like this is not this is illegible.
It reminds me of MTV in the 90s, how it just sort of blipped between different things. Yeah.
Totally. It's very avant-garde. It's very like inspired by death metal, and like that kind of artwork surrounding that sort of thing was definitely the impetus for this book even being created. Because it started out as kind of like a zine project, like, oh yeah, and then they just kept building and building and building. And they're like, oh, this is like a whole ass RPG. Just to explain a couple things for the sake of I know some of you guys have played before, some of you haven't. When it comes to combat in this game, there's no like action, bonus action, movement, whatever. On your turn, you can move and you can do a thing. When you do a thing, that might be attacking, that might be performing something that is within reason, like, oh, I'm going to climb up this rope, I'm going to go up here, whatever. And movement is a little bit more esoteric as well. Basically, if say you're fighting a troll, you are either near to the troll or you are far away from it. There's no like, I'm 10 feet away, I'm 15 feet away, whatever. And on your turn, if you start your turn and you're near to a troll, you can say, okay, well, I'm going to move to the other side of the room, so now I'm far away from it, and then I'm going to shoot it with my bow or go out the room or whatever you want to do. So it's kind of meant to be like there's a lot less it's very mechanics light. It kind of draws, and that is something that is kind of this book drawing from this sort of new, I don't really know what to call it, but like I guess fad is the word that comes to mind, but that's the wrong word because that is like a negative connotation. But this new school thought of like keeping the mechanics light, but it also lends a lot from the old school role-playing stuff where it's like, yeah, combat's brutal, we keep it fast-paced, and the way leveling up in this game works is also really interesting. But we'll get to all that. First thing we need to do is make characters. So we have a couple options here as well. Making characters, rules as written, this game is designed for your characters to be generated entirely randomly. The only thing that you decide for yourself is what your character's name is going to be, and like anything about their backstory or anything, if you want to include that kind of stuff. But you roll for your class, you roll for your health, you roll for your stats, you roll for your equipment, and sometimes you end up with good shit, sometimes you end up with bad stuff. This game is very much about making the best of the tools you are given. So sometimes you end up with really good tools, and that might get you a little further. Other times you end up with not much, and it's like, okay, well, you're basically fucked, but maybe you as a clever individual can figure out a way to kind of stretch that character as long as they can go. Characters are very much meant to be disposable. You know, the expectation is going through a dungeon, probably going to have a death or two. Not always, but it very much is designed that it can happen. So with all that in mind, I feel like in the spirit of the game, to at the very least get the experience of what the game is designed for, we should roll characters randomly and kind of take it from there. I have an order of operations written down. I was looking at all this stuff last night, and I was like, what's the best order to do all this in? Because it doesn't really matter too much, but just to keep things somewhat conducive. There are, I believe, 6 character classes. For those of you who have the book physically, because yeah, we're doing this all like pen and paper. For the audience watching, I apologize. You know, there's not like a Roll20-esque setup that really utilizes Mork Borg. Yeah, so that's what our character sheets look like. I sent those to you guys earlier. As you can see, they're pretty heavy on design, simple on like what you actually have to fill in. You have strength, agility, presence, and toughness as your stats. You got a spot for equipment. You got a spot for your name, your class, any powers you have. Powers are this game's version of spells,
Are they like
basically.
superpowers?
Yeah. Some of them.
Like pseudo powers.
Not really.
Some of them, yeah, it depends. Some of them are quite strong. There are two, kind of how in D&D you have like, oh, these are wizard spells, these are cleric spells. In Mork Borg, you have two classifications. You have sacred scrolls or sacred powers and unclean scrolls or unclean powers, which are basically your like dark magic and light magic, essentially. Yeah, and that's kind of what that is. So if we want to start,
And if you don't have a scroll, you don't have powers.
exactly, there's not like some classes can cast magic, some can't. Basically you can cast magic if you have like a scroll to actually read the magic from.
I'm
Yes,
actually
Wally.
going to share my character sheet with everyone, so chat will at least get to see one of the character sheets. So there you go, chat.
That's great, yeah, because then people can kind of follow along with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So keeping track of this, I mean, yeah, like I said, we're just straight up on like the honor system here. I don't think anyone's gonna cheat. In terms of rolling, to roll for your class, which is probably the thing we should start with, it is the D6, because there are 6 classes that you can start with. My first question, actually, does anyone not have access to the information in the book? Because if anyone doesn't, I have it. I'm happy. Okay, Wally, yeah. So Wally, we can like, I'll kind of go through it with you and tell you what you're getting, and Josh, you as well. Yeah, so I can kind of tell you like what you're getting access to.
Okay.
Essentially. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's even a I think the class sheets are available just for free on the Mork Borg website here.
And I also
Oh,
have
I can-
Adobe, so I can just generate one from their website, download the PDF, and then customize, like, change hit points
That's
on there.
totally
So that's
fine. Yeah,
what I was
that's-
just gonna do.
If that's what you want to do, that's totally fine.
I'd also feel terrible if I didn't mention, as somewhat of more of like the online focused game master, they do actually have on Foundry a game system if you wanted to play online.
Okay. That's very
So
cool.
for anyone watching that wants to do this digitally, there are options available if you have Foundry.
It's funny because as I was saying that, I was like, oh, I bet Josh actually knows a place that this will work, considering
I could even set it up if we wanted to, or we could do it, the old fashioned way, which I'm more than happy doing as well.
Oh, let's do it old fashioned.
Okay, we can just do
it
it
is an
straight pen and
OSR.
paper today, but if we ever want to play again, I would love to check that out and just kind of see how it all functions. That's very cool. I didn't
I
know
Is
have
it actually set up
rolled
pretty well? Because I
Richard
saw that it was
royalty.
there, but I heard when I'd heard about it on Foundry, I heard it wasn't quite there yet.
I haven't played with it too
Did they
much.
fix it up?
Well, okay, so what are we doing first
Alright,
then, Josiah?
So first thing we'll do then is roll up classes. So Josh, you said you were going to randomly generate and just kind of go from there. That's totally fine. And if anyone wants to go that route, that's totally fine.
I want to.
I also have the PDF of the character sheet that I downloaded, so I could create the first one, with everyone else as well.
Sure, yeah. Why? If I will leave that up to you.
Cool.
But yeah, if that's what we want to do, then I can kind of read you what your abilities are. But in the first case, the first thing we're going to do is roll up a class. So basically, roll a d6, and that is going to determine what your character's class is.
Here we go.
Because there are 6 core classes.
This is my Mind Flayer 6-sided dice.
Excellent.
I have rolled a 4.
A 4.
Me too.
That
And Richard
makes-
royalty.
Yeah, that makes you both wretched royalty.
world?
I got a 6.
So the 6 means that we have an occult herb master, which is kind of this game's version of like a druidic alchemist, sort of. So
I got a 12.
on your d6.
Yes. No, I got a 2.
It just loops back around.
I got a 2.
The 2 is the gutterborn scum, which is like the rogue class.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
closest analogy I can make there.
that's good.
But yeah, so Wally, I guess I'll start with you.
Okay.
I know Fred and AJ have access to the book. So the gutterborn scum It says an ill star smiled upon your birth. Poverty, crime, and bad parenting didn't help either. In your community, an honest day's work was never an option. Not that you ever tried. What are you, some kind of mug? A razor blade and a moonless night are worth a week of chump work. So
Yeah, fits me.
you begin with 1d6 times 10 silver pieces. So go ahead and roll a d6 and then times 10. How much silver you have.
All right, so I have 40
Which-
silver. That's
Cool. So you have
down
40
here.
silver. So you can mark that on your sheet.
Okay.
I think there's a spot for money.
Yep, it's down in the bottom right hand corner.
Yeah, down in the bottom.
Silver.
There we go.
Ooh,
Yeah, which is this game's currency. We don't have gold pieces. There's no platinum.
I
there's no
like
bronze,
that.
it's just
Is
silver.
the money creation process the same for all the different classes, or is it?
It is
different?
not. I believe as Wretched Royalty, you guys actually both start out with a fair amount more than anyone else. No, it is 4d6 times 10 silver actually for them as well.
Oh,
But
okay.
it is not this. Yeah, so for like the Hermit, it's 3d6. For our Occult Herb Master, it's 2d6 times 10. I think that's
It's
the lowest.
You say 3d6?
2d6 times
Oh,
10.
2d6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 70.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I
Hell
rolled
yeah.
46 and got 110. So
Hell yeah.
Was I supposed to roll more than one six-sided die?
Nope.
Just-
yours was 1d6.
It's just
So
one.
actually, sorry, the scum
All
is
right.
the lowest. Yeah.
So I just
Rick
steal
Ward
from everybody
character.
else. Man.
Where do you write the
Yeah.
gold down at?
Bottom right hand corner.
Us. Yeah, on the sheet in the bottom right hand corner. there's a
Oh,
thing that
silver, I
says
see it right there.
Silver. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So then the second thing you want to roll is your omens. So this Wally, the Gutterborn scum, starts with 1d2 omens.
Okay, so odd or
and
even?
those will be marked. Yeah, basically, so 1 or 2.
I rolled even, so 2.
Great. Awesome. And I think the Wretched
The-
Royalty also starts with the D2 omens.
Yeah, it is
and
D2
The
in it.
Herb Master also starts with the D2 omens. I think there's only one class that gets more than 1 or 2 omens. So omens,
You said
you mark
D2?
that. Yeah. So coin flip, or you can roll in odds or evens. But our omens, the way that you can use those is basically you can re-roll a roll that you make, or you can force someone else to re-roll. It's very similar to the way inspiration works in D&D. So you can re-roll a roll that you made that you're not happy with the result. You can force somebody else to re-roll. There's a third use of them as well. Let me take a quick look here. Because like I said, when we were putting this together, this is also a fairly new system to me as well. So I'm always
Makes sense.
don't mind me if I have to look a couple things up.
As far as omens go, then do they refill at any certain point, or is that just like?
That's just what you start with, and at certain times you will. Yeah, I'll read you exactly what it says here. It says clearly the eyes of other powers are upon you, eldritch watchers and tangled fates of alternate worlds. Call it luck if you want to. Every class gains a number of omens. If you play without classes, everyone begins with D2 omens. Yeah. When depleted, roll the class's designated die, D2 if playing without classes, and regain that many omens after resting at least 6 hours. So every time you take a rest for the evening, you get 1 D2 omens back. So yeah, you can use them to re-roll a dice, yours or someone else's. You can also use them to neutralize a crit or a fumble. So if someone's going to crit you, you can be like, I'm going to use one of my omens to make that not happen.
Okay.
Or if you roll a natural 1 and you fumble, you can say, I'm going to make an omen. I'm going to use an omen to make that not happen.
Nice.
You can also use them to lower one test DR by -4, which basically means sometimes there'll be like skill checks. You can make something easier on you. Most excitingly, you can use it to deal maximum damage with 1 attack. So you can expend one of your omens to just whatever your damage die is. Say you're rolling a D8, this one's an 8. And I encourage you to use those as we go, because it's very much a use it or lose it kind of thing. Whenever you rest, you get them back, and they are very helpful for staying alive.
How often does resting happen in this? Is this like short rest or
Yeah,
like
so basically there's short and long rest. When it says like 6 hours, That's like our long rest. We're making camp. We're settling in for the night. And then the short rest, I believe this game calls it catching your breath, which is like a rest that is like 1 or 2 hours.
Okay.
Like a
So it's
smoke
more
break.
than just a long rest a day. Cool.
Yeah, and there's like no real limit on how much you want to do that. Depending on where you are, that may or may not cause problems. But for the most part, you can just kind of
Naturally,
make camp
yeah.
whenever you want. Yeah.
Cool.
We're going to sleep
Cool.
for 22 hours of the day and resting and only be exploring and doing stuff for 2 hours, most of which will be, about 30 seconds maybe or less of running away.
So then the third thing that is unique to your class is when it comes to HP, your HP is equal to your toughness plus a D6, Wally. In the case of the Occult Herbmaster, it's also a D6, and it's also a D6 for the Wretched Royalty. So basically what you want to do for now, we'll get to the other help stats and stuff later, but for now, just roll 1d6 and put that number in your max HP area, which is on the right-hand side of the skull, I believe.
Oh, nice. It's not a 1, it's a 2.
Excellent.
Ooh, I rolled a 6.
A 1! So we got a 2
I got
and
a
a 1.
4.
You rolled
We're
a
not
6.
having a caviar situation again.
Excellent. So 4 and a 6. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So now for your each class also gets a unique thing, which is like a special ability basically that you can do. And rather than it's like, oh, here's 10 abilities this class can have, it's a pool of 6 different abilities, and you roll to see which one you get access to, basically. So, and I guess it's not 6 for every single character class, but in the case of the Scum, it is 6. So, Wally, go ahead and roll 1d6, and I will tell you what.
5.
5. So, you gain an ability called Excretal Breath. You have an astounding, almost preternatural ability to hide in muck, debris, and filth. When you are hidden in these conditions, a DR16 presence test is required to notice you. So basically, whenever you're hidden in filth or garbage of some kind, you are very hard to find.
Okay.
That is your ability.
So that's called
Now,
excretal breath?
You got it. Or I'm sorry, Excretal Stealth.
Stealth. Okay.
Excretal Stealth.
Excretal stealth.
Sorry,
And that's-
all I ate today was 2 Oreos, and I've been drinking wine this whole time, so that's my bad.
I'm not saying that your home is garbage. I'm saying that you are garbage.
Yeah,
I can hide in the
I was
muck.
expecting it to be like something breath related, and then I read it and I was like,
Yeah.
okay. But then
All right. Got it.
So in the case of the Occult Herbmaster, let's see. So we did all that. Okay, so you carry around with you a portable laboratory and continually search for frequently expended ingredients. Every day, you have the materials to create 2 randomly determined decoctions and can brew a total of 1d4 doses. If unused, they lose vitality after 24 hours. So, this is something you roll for every time we take a rest. You don't have like a specific static ability. Basically, every time we take a rest, you roll a 1d8 twice, and you gain access to those 2 concoctions. So we can do the first one now. So go ahead and roll a d8.
He doesn't worry about the danger. He is the danger.
6.
6. So that one is Fernor's Filter. It is translucent oil that must be dabbed right into the eye. Heals infection and gives a +2 on presence test for 1d4 hours. So, yeah, you get a potion that will heal infection on somebody and buff their presence for a couple hours. And presence is basically our kind of combination of dexterity and wisdom. Presence is what you use for making ranged attacks, like firing a bow or throwing a knife or something like that. But it's also what you use for noticing things. So it's kind of like your dexterity and wisdom rolled into one.
And did that say I get to roll a d4 for the doses of it?
Let me take a quick look. Yes. So go ahead and roll 1d4.
Okay, cool. I thought that's what I heard. 2. So I have 2 doses of my eyeball potion.
your eyeball juice, and then go ahead and roll another d8 because you get to make 2 things
Okay.
every day.
Strange blue crystals.
My
make you
next
jittery.
D8 is a 2.
A 2, so that is Azumiel's Vapor. Pass a DR14 test, or severe and arguably fun hallucinations for 1d4 hours. So this is like a poison, basically, that you can either use for recreational purposes or use to mess with somebody. But yeah, so then you can roll a d4 to determine how many doses of that you've got.
Okay. Let me see here. 1. So that's easy.
1. Great. And yeah, so this is something that every time you guys take a long rest, you do this same thing again. You roll twice, and then you roll your d4s to see how many doses you have. And then in the case of our wretched royalty, I don't know. Did you guys already roll?
I rolled 2, and I'm really not feeling like my my class features are going to help me or anybody else around me, because I got Blade of the Ancestors, which is going to fuck us all up.
So you got Blade of the Ancestors. This magnificent and clearly magical talking sword is foppish, unreliable, and quietly despises you. It taunts your failures, and if continually disappointed, develops a 1 in 6 chance to accidentally attack you or your companions. Deals d6 plus 1 damage. Attack and defense DR is 10. That's very funny. AJ, did you already roll? Or
Yeah, I've got Barbarista, the incredible horse. So I've got a talking horse, of course.
That's maybe my favorite thing in this entire game. Yeah, Barbarister is a magical, intelligent, arrogant, and vain. He can also talk. If you can persuade him to care, Barbarister occasionally adds +2 to presence tests involving logic and intellect. The horse may be smarter than you and is quite aware of this. Very good.
If the horse makes any muck, I can hide in it.
Excellent. True. Cool. So that is our core abilities for the most part. Now the only thing, or rather our core attributes and stuff. Now we just need to roll for the strength, agility, presence, and toughness. So
right,
the way that this works, for the most part, for each stat, let me bring that page up here.
It's backward, doesn't it? 40.
Yeah, so for each stat, you roll 3d6, and then there's a table similar to D&D where it's like, oh yeah, like you have a 10 to 12, that means, or a 10 or 11, that's +0, or 12 or 13 is +1, etc. But the actual numbers no longer matter after you roll them. All that matters is the bonus that it gives you, like the +1 or the +2 or whatever. The larger numbers don't actually matter. But every class gets a little, so you roll 3d6 for each ability. However, there are exceptions for each class. So the Gutterborn Scum, for example, rolls 3d6 -2 for your strength. But all presence and agility tests have their DR reduced by 2, meaning that it's easier for you to make presence or ability checks.
So 3d6 -2 on strength.
Yep. So let's do strength first. So 3d6 -2.
Ooh. 9, 10, 11, 12. So that'd be a 10.
All right. So you've got a 10 in strength, which is going to leave you with a +0. So your strength is a 0.
Okay.
And then go ahead and roll just 3d6 for agility.
8 and 5 is 13.
So 13 is going to give you a +1 in your agility.
Okay.
And then for our presence, go ahead and roll.
9.
9 is going to give you a +0.
And toughness?
And one more time, yeah, for toughness.
7 and 5 is 12.
So 12 is also a +0 in toughness.
Man. Right on.
So what was your earlier you rolled that d6 for your health? What did you roll?
D6 for my health. 6.
Cool. So fortunately you rolled quite high. Because now is the point where you would add your toughness modifier to that,
Mm,
but it's +0, so you just are at 6.
gotcha. And I'm good with that because it could be minus subtracting that. I'm guessing, right?
Yes, 6 is
Okay.
actually not bad. 6
Okay.
is pretty decent,
All
all
right.
things considered.
Let's stick with that.
Oh, oh dear. Did you just say that the toughness score modifier thingy is subtracted from the number of your hit points that we rolled?
Yes.
Because my toughness is -2, and I've got a 2 for my hit points.
Yeah.
So that means you can never go below 1, so you have 1 hit point, Fred.
Thank you.
Fred's the caviar. You're the caviar, Fred.
Fred's the caviar.
Oh no.
I also have 1 hit point. I've got -2 strength, 0
Oh.
agility, 0 presence, 1
That
toughness.
we have these two nobles that are both just
Okay.
Makes sense.
oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, so now
So for me, do
Yeah.
I have any plus
Let
or
me take a look
minuses to
here.
any of my stats?
So for you, you are tough as wood. Roll 3d6 +2 for your toughness, but low in protein. So you roll 3d6 -2 to your strength. So you get a -2 to strength, but a +2 to toughness.
Okay, so I have an 11 for my strength because I rolled a 13 -2, 11.
Okay, so yeah, 11 is a flat 0.
Cool. Let's see. For agility, a 13.
Okay, so that's gonna be a +1.
Okay. For presence, we've got a 9.
A 9 is gonna be a +0.
Cool. And then toughness, so I get to add a +2 to this roll. 13.
13, so that's a +1. So whatever you rolled for your hit points earlier, you add 1 to it.
Cool. So I'm up to 5 health.
Hell yeah.
Man, I
that's-
feel so tough right now.
It's very funny to me that Wally ended up with the highest HP, just by chance. A tanky
I feel
ranger.
unstoppable after
Yeah.
my level
So-
3 HP guy.
Wally, because you are a Gutterborn scum, you roll a D6 on the weapon table. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll a D6.
And all of our positions have, or not all of ours, but some of our positions have swapped on the live stream. When AJ comes back, if that doesn't auto fix, then I'll fix it. But right
Okay.
now, the Bear Bard is Dungeon Dad.
Oh yeah, and I'm AJ.
I rolled a 3
You
for
call me
weapons.
Dungeon Daddy.
You rolled a 3.
I did.
So that means you have a short sword.
Oh.
So your weapon is a short sword, which does 1d4 damage. Then I need you to roll a d2 on the armor table. So you're gonna basically flip a coin, 1 or 2.
I'll go odd even. Even, so that'd be 2.
Cool. So you have light armor.
Light armor.
So in the armor section there, basically that is either fur, padded cloth, leather, whatever. It can be whatever you want it to be. But that is tier 1 armor.
Can it be a flannel
so that-
shirt?
Yeah, why not?
Flannel
Just like a
shirt.
real thick flannel.
Alright, thick
So that
flannel shirt.
means whenever you take damage,
Uh-huh.
because see the 3 little circles there, 1, 2, 3, and it's
Mhm.
minus D2, minus D4, minus D6.
Mhm.
You have tier 1 armor, which means if whenever you take damage, you roll a D2 and you reduce that much damage. So if I'm gonna do 3 damage to you, you would roll a D2. Say you roll a 2, you would take
Mhm.
1 damage.
Oh, Okay.
It's also possible to mitigate all damage. Say I'm gonna do only 2 damage to you,
Mhm.
and you roll 2, then you would take nothing.
Ah.
So that's how armor works, basically.
okay. I might ask
Um,
questions on that again later.
For sure, I'm sure it'll come up, and that's fine. We're
Yep.
all learning here.
Okay.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
With armor, if you roll a 4-sided dice, in this case for the wretched royalty, and you get a 4 and it says heavy armor,
Yeah.
what do you do with that exactly?
So with heavy armor, that might be your splint mail, plate mail, etc. That's great. Heavy armor is the best armor you can have. That's a tier 3 armor. That means that every time you would take damage, you roll a d6 and reduce that much damage from how much you've taken, which considering you have 1 hit point is pretty good. So that's excellent. However, heavy armor does come with the caveat that on agility tests, the challenge is +4, so it's harder for you to succeed on agility tests because you're wearing heavy armor. But you're a lot less likely to die from damage, so that's good.
And I hear
Okay.
staying alive is good, so
Yeah.
That is generally the goal, yeah. And you begin. Oh wait, we did the specialty already. Okay, great. So now we have to determine. I guess actually, real quick before we move on, Josh, we can do your stuff here real quick while I have the page marked.
yes. What do I roll?
So, what do you start with? Abilities, yeah, that's fine.
Oh dear.
Oh, right
Okay.
on. Okay, so I see. So for you, there is still an opportunity for you to get some starting equipment, but by default, your class doesn't get any armor or weapons or anything like that. But this is just the class stuff, and then we do the general roll. There's 3 rolls we make that determine something you start with. So Wally,
Mhm.
we'll do you first. Roll a d6.
Okay.
And this is going to be stuff for your inventory, your equipment.
4.
A 4. So you start with a sack, which can hold 10 normal-sized items.
Okay.
Basically, a normal-sized item is any item that you would get from this situation.
Okay.
Great. So you've got a bag to carry stuff around in.
Love it.
And then, if you would be so kind to roll a d12 for me.
4.
4. You have a magnesium strip.
Probably stole that from something.
Yeah, what you choose to do with that is up to you.
Mm.
And then roll a d12.
5.
You have some exquisite perfume, which is worth 25 silver.
Ooh. I like
And with that, you're done. That's your character.
Wow.
Okay, so then Josh will do the same thing. So I need you to roll a d6 for me.
All right, a d6. Whoop. Sorry, that was 3d6. There we go. 1d6. I got a 3.
A 3, so you have a backpack, which has enough room for 7 normal-sized items.
Okay. Backpack.
Oh hell! What's this thing?
I probably should put some background music in.
I'm so confused. I've just realized there's a whole string of information down the side of the page here that goes vertically, not horizontally.
What?
For the
Oh,
Richard,
I never noticed that before.
Richard royalty.
Oh,
I didn't
those
notice-
are the back. That's the background stuff. Like you can roll for your backstory if you
Okay.
want to. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's why they put that there, because it's not critical.
Right.
Okay, so you got your backpack. Roll then 1d12.
1d12. Let's see here. There's the d12. 8.
8 is okay. You get a metal file and some lockpicks.
Oh.
Oh, yay. I'm ready to break out of a jail.
Hell yeah! And then one more d12.
Oh, one more? Okay.
Yeah.
1.
1. You have a life elixir. So it is a little red potion that has 1d4 doses, which you can roll for now. Then you're just like
2
the
doses.
potion guy. 2
Apparently.
doses, hell yeah. So that will heal you for 1d6 HP and also remove any infections. And that, unlike your other powers, does not go bad. So that just you have until you use it.
Cool.
Right on.
Okay.
Okay. So Yeah, you're done. That's the
Good.
character. Okay.
I have a question. How does
Yeah.
the wretched royalty do equipment? Because if I look at the wretched royalty section page, it doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, so the way you do equipment is the same as this is just like the neutral stuff. Everyone does the same thing at this step, which is if you have the book, if you go to page 19, you roll a d6, a d12, and another d12, and then you choose from the list based on what you roll.
Okay. It's all right. So you get 3 items basically off those tables. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Nothing.
By the way,
you're
I don't
also
have a
1 to 2
printer
you
here, and the online source wasn't working, so I rolled a random and I put it in the chat.
Sick. Okay,
So if you
that's
look in the
totally
chat, you
fine.
can see my character. So
Excellent. Excellent.
Oh God, a bomb.
What?
Yeah, I got a bomb.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, sealed bottle. It's a bomb. I love it. It's so good. So good.
And the last one. Okay. Finally, something that isn't scary.
What did you get on your last one?
The last one was a toolbox. It might actually be useful to me. I feel like the bomb will just blow me up and everybody else. But
10 nails, tongs, a hammer, small saw, and a drill. That's pretty useful. I could see a lot of ways where that might come in handy.
Yeah, I was feeling that. So, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and then I'm sorry. So then we actually do roll randomly to determine what starting weapon you have. Wally, you already rolled a short sword, but that you get that from your class. You also get to roll a second time.
Yes.
Which is just so the weapon roll is 1d10. Wait, yes, it is 1d10. So Wally, I guess we can start with you. Go ahead and roll a d10.
5.
5 is a warhammer that does a d6 damage. Slightly better than what you had.
Nice.
Go ahead, Josh. Roll me a d10.
A d10. Alrighty. We've got a 3.
A 3 is going to give you a short sword that does 1d4 damage.
A short sword. Alrighty.
Now, Fred, you already had the sword that you get from your background, but you can roll again to get another weapon.
Oh, do I get a sword with my background?
Oh, not necessarily, but that was the thing you rolled, right? Was the
right? I rolled the D8 because it says D8 for that, and I got the staff. So that's what I have. Is that right, or do I roll again?
Oh, okay. No, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
So you have the staff. Okay, sick.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Do I get a roll for armor potentially, or am I just trying to be sneaky?
So let me see here. Yeah, no one has scrolls. No one has scrolls. So you can roll 1d4 to determine your armor.
Okay.
I just got done watching Secret Invasion, so every time you say scrolls, I'm thinking scrolls.
A 4 is heavy armor, so that's tier 3 armor, which if you choose to wear it will of course reduce damage you take by 1d6. However, it does make agility tests a little bit harder. It adds +4 to agility tests.
So I'm assuming from this character sheet that the powers represent scrolls if you have scrolls.
Yes.
And that's really it. Like class, you get a couple of various class special thingies. You can pick a background from your background section if there's a background section on your class. You select a weapon, you select some armor, you select some equipment, you do your hit points, and you roll for your attributes, and you find out how many omens you have and how much silver you got, and that's it.
That's it. You're done. That's the character. The only other thing that's left to do, which is completely optional, if you want to do any shopping, because everyone does start with some silver. On page 25 in the book, there's a list of equipment and how much it all costs. You can't really buy weapons and armor here, but you can buy like a backpack, a bear trap, a blanket, caltrops, chalk, tobacco, crowbars, etc., etc. For those of you who do not have the book, I'm going to see real quick if I can find you.
I was trying to
it's
see if
pretty
this
tedious
was
for me
on
to read this off.
online or something. I don't see it.
So-
I've been trying to find something.
So what I actually ended up doing, Wally, when I checked to see if it was on Foundry, I'm building it in Foundry, which also has all the items and shows me what they do.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you want,
Awesome.
I can add you to the Foundry world I'm in.
That's okay. Foundry and I don't get along. Last time I was there,
Okay.
I almost never escaped. It's bad. I don't
Sounds
know.
good.
I appreciate it though. I'll probably just I'll pick up a copy of this and I'll fill it in.
I can probably. There's a plain text version of it that's free.
Oh, where's that at?
It doesn't have any of the. I'm looking for it right now.
Oh,
It doesn't have any of the like fancy graphic design stuff, and it's literally just like
yeah.
text.
Their
Their-
website is very similar to their book. I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
Just like I have been all over this place. So if it looks like my eyes are
Oh, here
darting
we
back
go.
and forth all over the places because I've been trying to find this.
Here, I'll drop this in the Discord for you, but this
Okay.
is the plain text version of the game. That is all the same rules and stuff are in there.
Bearpard is
But,
slowly starting to hide more and more behind his monitor.
Bro, I have been fighting this damn thing for the last however long we've been live. I'm gonna turn off my mic so I can try it again. I don't have a sandbag for my for the stand, so everything's just kind of like losing it. So give me just a second.
Oh, you're fine.
That and my son keeps running in the room and knocking it, so that doesn't help either.
Yeah, so Wally, if you go in that plain text PDF that I just dropped
Mm-hmm.
onto page 24 of that PDF, you
Got
will
it.
see the equipment list. It shows everything listed, and how much it costs.
Wow, there's 76 pages.
I have a flail, some scale mail, a backpack, a medicine chest, and some exquisite perfume.
Excellent. A flail is a really good weapon. I think that might be the best weapon anyone rolled today.
Hmm.
That hits for a D8, right? Yeah.
It's good to see the flail get some love, you know?
I am the glass cannon, literally.
Yeah. You're outputting the most damage, and you and Fred
Oh.
both, I guess, have 1 hit point.
Now my
So my battle tactic is just to scream and swing the flail around, hoping nobody hits me and I hit them.
this sack that I'm carrying, that the 2 items that you gave me to begin, that's 2 of my 10 items. Is that correct?
Yes. So
Okay.
that is the one thing, is like your carrying capacity is basically let me check here real quick. Yeah, it's your strength plus 8. So you can always carry at least 8 items. And whatever your strength is, you add to that. However, you do need places to put them. So like your sack has like 12 slots or 8 slots or whatever it was.
Right.
So nobody
Okay.
starts off with any possibility of having a scroll.
I believe you can get a scroll at the very start, but it's very unlikely. If you start with a scroll, it's one of the D12 things. One of the.
It's one of those things.
Yeah,
Hmm.
one of the randomly determined tables has an option for a scroll. Yeah. I'm just looking to see what that is. Yeah, so if you look at the last D12, the second D12, if you roll a 2, the option is a random sacred scroll. And then you would roll to see what scroll you get. And I think one of the options on this first one is, yeah, if you roll a 5, it's a random unclean scroll. So theoretically, you could start with 2 scrolls. Also, I think one of the classes starts with a scroll instead of a weapon.
Bearbard,
It's-
did you get the bear trap?
I just like I said, I didn't have, I don't have like anything to write or anything like that right now. So I just did the I just rolled the character. So no, I got water skin, mace, plate armor. Oh, I got plate armor. Dang. Backpack, bomb, heavy chain, and 32 silver.
Maybe I should get the bear trap for the Bearbard.
hell yeah.
It's just I see where it happens.
You see how it is?
There's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep Bear Bard off my channel with a bear.
Yeah, the esoteric hermit starts with a scroll of their choosing. It's randomly determined, but you choose which like category you want to start with. So
I like how I can get a ladder.
yeah,
We-
there's good options here for items.
All right, we're good to go. See you in 3 weeks.
Yeah, so
Thanks, everybody.
That's character creation. So that's literally it. I mean, we've only been live for an hour. So once everyone's good to go, unless anyone has any more questions or whatever, I'm down to like we can start even if you guys want to.
Oh, yeah, of
like
course.
an hour.
Yeah. I'm down
I
to
don't know
clown
how long.
a bit.
How long do we usually go with these streams?
5 hours. No, just
Is it
kidding.
10? Well, I
He's-
mean, I
he's
guess
kidding, he's
when
kidding.
me and AJ are both here.
Yeah.
I on my channel I only stream for an hour. Anything other than that, I start having brain bleeds.
See, that's the nice thing about streaming with
Yeah.
other people. Sometimes you can just like let other people talk and
Yeah.
let your
Yeah,
brain
we-
go somewhere.
Yeah, we
That's the
usually go
problem.
2
I'm
hours.
sitting here trying not to talk.
Well, dude, we usually go to for what is it, another hour
Yeah.
or 40 minutes or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, we usually go about 2 hours, about 10 after 8 or 10 after 10 after 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought you had mentioned 2 hours, and I said that to you, Fred. I was like, well, depending on how long this takes, like we might even be able to start because character creation is very fast in this game, and that was doing it for the first time. Now that we kind of have a grasp on it, this is what I mean. Like the online generator tool is great because you just push a button and get a guy.
Mhm.
So if anyone does die, A, I'm sorry. B, that's just the way it be. And you can just
You don't
push
have to
the button.
apologize. We all knew what we signed up for.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Mork Borg is just kind of that thing where like, you don't want to get artwork commissioned of your Mork Borg character. I'll put
Yeah,
it that
don't-
way.
Don't name your character; you'll get attached.
Yeah, exactly. Because the game is kind of designed like if anyone does die, it's not going to be like, well, you have to go sit over there for an hour while we get through this couple encounters, and then like I'm going to try to get you back in as fast as possible. Like you push that button, get another guy, be like, okay, cool, like you're here. This is what's happening. Like you're just in it. It's fine. We all understand that this is what's happening. But yeah,
I have to say, we did so little talking. So I just want to make clear to those people who are watching, it's actually very hard to figure out what's going on if you build it without a generator. To figure out what's the next thing you're supposed to select or what roll for, it's actually not that easy. It's actually
yeah,
very hard.
it's definitely one of those things that it's not very intuitive. Once you kind of have done it a couple times and you're like, oh, okay, I get it, then sure. But just because of the way the book is, it's very much form over function, which is kind of fun, but it's also like, let me hold the book like this and figure out what I'm doing here.
Can one
yeah.
of you drop the link to the character generator for me? Just I don't know why I feel like death coming on.
Honestly, Wally, you of all people shouldn't be worried about that. I hope Fred and AJ both have it set as their homepage, but you,
It's all right.
Mister 6 hit points over here.
Yeah, no,
It's there in the
I'm all
chat,
good, man.
Wally.
I'm all good. Slag
Yeah.
1, Slag 2, Slag 3. They're all brothers. Okay.
But yeah, just to go over a couple quick things. So when you take damage, you have your armor tier that will reduce a D2, a D4, or D6. We'll get to that if and when it comes up. In terms of death and dying, if you go into negative HP, you are dead. If you go to exactly 0, your character is broken, which means then we have to roll a D4. And you might still die, but you might survive, or you might survive with some kind of injury. these things happen. Powers, I'm not even going to touch on because I don't think anyone has any scrolls. I don't think a single person here has a scroll. So if someone rolls up a second character at some point and they get a scroll, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Or rather, we'll build that bridge when we get to it. And then, yeah, I guess the only other thing worth noting is at any point you can take a rest, or catching your breath as they call it, which is like resting for an hour or two. That will heal you for 1d4. Taking a long rest, sleeping overnight for 6 hours, that will heal you for 1d6. If you are infected at any point, which, you know, something like it's shanked with a rusty blade or something, unless you have a way to cure infection, you don't heal when you rest. Instead, you take a d6 damage. But fortunately, you are traveling with someone who's very good at curing those kind of things, so that's good. So when I call for a test, typically, so in combat, for example, say you want to make an attack, a melee attack, that is a d12 strength check, or test as they call it. So what that means is you roll your d20 and you add your strength modifier to it. If it's higher than 12, you hit. Or rather, if it's 12 or higher, you hit. If it is 11 or lower, you miss. Very straightforward. Ranged attacks, I don't think anyone has any ranged weapons either. Ranged attacks work the same way, except they use your presence instead of your strength. And agility is your defense stat. So when you get attacked by a monster, you roll your agility. And if you roll a 12 or higher, it misses you. If you roll an 11 or lower, it hits you. And then you roll your armor dice to see how much you mitigate. And then the final number goes through. It's pretty fast, pretty straightforward. And the last thing is the way initiative works. Initiative works basically, I will roll a d6. If it is a 1 to 3, the enemies go first. If it is a 4 to 6, you guys go first. And you can go in any order you want. You can roll against each other if you want to determine it randomly, but you can say, I'm going to go, then you go, then you go, then you go. And like you can kind of strategize a bit. It's very similar to the way Star Wars does initiative, if you've ever played that system. But basically, yeah, bad guys go, you guys go, bad guys go, you guys go. And on your turn, you can delegate amongst yourselves however you want to do this. So, and I should, the very last thing, natural 20 is a crit, so you do 2 times damage. If you are rolling to defend, it's obviously an automatic defense. Like there's nothing that's ever going to have a challenge rating of 20 or higher. And also, if you roll a crit on defense, you get a free attack. So if something is attacking you and you roll a natural 20 on your dice to defend, you get to attack them for free, just right away. If you roll a natural 1 on your attack, your weapon breaks or is lost in some way, but the weapon is gone. And if you roll a natural 1 on your defense, you take double the amount of damage that the attack would normally do, and your armor is permanently reduced by 1 tier, meaning that if you have tier 3 armor, it goes down to tier 2 because it's been damaged in some way. Lastly, in case it comes up, if you have a shield, I don't think anyone has a shield, but if you do have a shield, shields mitigate 1 damage. But if you ever want to, say you're going to take a shit ton of damage from an attack, you can say, I'm blocking this, and you take no damage, but the shield is destroyed. So you can sacrifice your shield to instead take no damage. You can just walk away unscathed, but it will cost you the shield permanently. I'm sure that was like 10 different things. I'm sure everyone retained 1 or 2. So
I actually put that reference sheet up on the screen, so I've been kind of
the reference sheet is very useful.
Yeah,
I see. AJ printed it out. It's an extremely useful reference sheet, and that is very much,
that's really good.
That's combat. That's the game. Like literally, you could give me that sheet, and like that's everything you need to know aside from your character stuff. Like,
nice.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's get started then. We got about 35 minutes to burn here, so that should be enough time to
kill at least one person.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. So the adventure we're going to be running today is actually the adventure from the back of the book.
Okay.
Because it is very much kind of intended as an introductory adventure to the game, so I thought that would be perfect. And also, I didn't have to write 10-page adventure, so that's great. Everybody wins. But yeah, so this adventure is called Rot Black Sludge, or The Shadow King's Lost Heir. So we begin in the city of Graven Tosk. The city of Graven Tosk is dilapidated, in a word. If you've ever played Bloodborne, it's a very similar vibe to that. You know, the city is downtrodden, fallen. The Shadow King resides in his palace, kind of presiding over the whole thing. But to what end? He's kind of ruling over an empire of geists and ghouls, and things have fallen apart. The kingdom's on hard times. But, of course, you still have communities and people who are still living here doing their thing. You guys may or may not be from this place, but for one reason or another, all of you face execution for heretical theft or heresy. You have found yourself in the Shadow King's dungeons, dragged deep, 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 many floors below. What constitutes heresy in this world? It's very up in the air. This is kind of getting into some lore stuff, but there are two twin-headed basilisks that spout prophecies of end times to come, doomsayers, etc., etc. And anything that goes against kind of that doctrine in this part of the world anyway is often considered heresy. And if the rumors are true, the Shadow King also needs sacrifices for many different rituals. So sometimes heretics are just people who ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time. But for whatever reason, you have found yourself in the Shadow King's dungeons. However, as you kind of wait in the cell to rot, a masked seer, this kind of character dressed in these fine black robes with like a golden mask that obscures their face, approaches the cell which you are all currently contained in. With a loud thud, begins to drag the cell door open after unlocking it. Opens the door for the first time in days. And she, in kind of a soft voice, explains to you that the king's one true heir, his eldest son, Alden, is missing. Without an heir, the Shadow King will eventually be forced to hand his crown over to his imbecile brother, something he's very reticent to do. And she has offered you a chance to return this heir discreetly. And if you do so, wealth, life, and freedom will all be yours. It is believed that Alden is being imprisoned in an infamous underground locale, a place that no free man would willingly go, a place called the Accursed Den, which is kind of this place that has some notoriety within the city, on the outskirts, old dilapidated fort. Nobody really fucking goes there anymore because, you know, that's a great recipe for an early grave. So this seer comes in, makes this offer to you, presuming you accept. If you don't, that's fine. You can hang out in the dungeon here. But presuming that you accept, for anyone who is willing to take this chance, at the very least, at gaining their freedom, she kind of raises a palm, puts it to your forehead, and leaves like a very subtle mark there. And explains, should you stray from the path, kind of become a flight risk, try to just dip off to some other country, it's only a matter of time. This mark will assuredly end your life.
So our head will explode.
Basically, yes. Yeah. So long as you stay the course, though, and get him back here within 2 weeks, a fortnight, then everything should be fine. They'll be handsomely rewarded, and it's either that or rot in the dungeon and await a guaranteed death. So, all things considered, it's a pretty good deal.
Do I still have my file and lockpicks?
So all of your stuff would be returned to you at this point.
Okay.
Upon being arrested, you know, all this stuff would have been presumably taken from you, but you know, she brings over a couple sacks, throws on the ground. You can kind of grab your stuff back from there. And she basically kind of casts this spell on the opposite end of the wall, which, again, discretion is the word of the day here, kind of opens a doorway out into the night, into the city, as though, you know, this is meant to be a very subtle thing. This is not supposed to be a big public. We're taking them out of the dungeon. Like, why are these guys going free? As far as society is concerned, you are going to die down here. But you have your chance. And the last thing I'll say before allowing you guys to kind of take the reins here, do what you will, is these seers are known to be capable of like prophecies and kind of seeing into the future and that kind of thing. So there might be a chance to glean a little bit of knowledge about your quest here, if you choose to engage with her. If you want to just head straight there, that's between you and God. So I leave it to you. The door is swung open. A gap has been made in the masonry. What would you like to do?
For the gosh damn Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I just thought that too. I just realised with the suicides, it's the dirty half dozen. Well,
Yeah.
not even quite half a dozen.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If there's some additional knowledge that we could ascertain from the seer, I'd be like, is there a little bit more of the down low that you can like enlighten us with?
Yeah.
Before we go.
She kind of looks towards you. It's hard to glean an expression behind this this copper mask, but looks towards you and kind of tilts her head to the side, puts a hand, does some gestures, and what does she tell you? She kind of stares almost in the same, like looking past you. Again, she has this mask on, so it's hard to tell. She's like looking towards the space behind you, doing this very ephemeral kind of ritual. She says, "In the den, I see cannibals feasting upon their own kind. To what end? To what reason, I do not know. But that is what I see when I look to the future.
Sounds about
Also,
right.
I see." I also see an ancient man living within the dungeon itself, within the den. He is to be feared, avoided. This is what is seen.
All right, guys. Avoid the ancient man and don't get eaten by the others. Are we good?
Okay.
Easy.
All right. I think.
Cool.
My knowledge has been
excellent.
really.
I approach.
I'm gonna let you go first. I don't even who the heck are you? I don't know. I'm Slag, but sure I say Slag actually. Slag. You can go first. You look fairly robust.
We're just going through an exit right now, so yeah, I'll lead the
I
way.
mean,
No.
I don't know what's through that exit. You know, I'm just.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so I have chosen the name Greedo because once I found out I was gutter-born scum, I immediately thought of Obi-Wan's "You'll never find a more place of scum and villainy than Mos Eisley," and I was trying to find names that I could pronounce, and Mos Eisley and Greedo
Yeah,
came
no,
up.
feel free. This is a great opportunity to kind of go around. Anyone who has a name can
So-
say their name.
Yeah,
Give a
so
little
now that I've
background about who they are.
put an attachment to my character, yeah.
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 Excellent.
So I'll approach the lady.
Yeah.
Glitter has one question for you though. If Glitter completes your task, can Glitter have your cool mask? I wish to have mask for completing task.
She kind of looks towards you and says, "The Shadow King. He merely mentioned a handsome reward. He did not mention monetary value, so we can see that this thing may be done."
Well, Glitter is already handsome. He needs a accentuation to face with mask. So I appreciate reward.
Yes.
I shall complete task.
Excellent. I have the utmost faith in you. I have foreseen your success.
Okay.
What's your?
I'm getting out of the cell. I'm getting out of the cell because I don't want anybody else to push the our luck too much more. Actually,
he just goes right up he's gonna just march right out that door. He's like he's getting the mask. That's all he cares about.
What's your name? What's your name again?
Gritter.
Gritter. Yeah, don't do that shit again. All right, let's go. She wears the mask. The seer wears the mask for a reason. Taking it off. My gosh. Yeah. When this is done, you're going that way. I'm going that way. We're good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we got Gritter. And Slag.
So you guys start to kind of make your way out of this makeshift passage that has been created via magical means into the city of the Night King. And as you're meandering towards the den, what I would love is if the player, what's everyone's perception modifier?
Is that
presence? Presence. Zero.
Zero.
It's a 0.
Everyone has a 0. Okay, that makes this interesting. I would need one person to roll presence for me. It can be anybody you want. It doesn't matter because you all have the same modifier.
You guys can.
5.
Maybe you should roll a d20. We're done with the d6s.
He did roll a d20.
Well,
You
if
did?
it helps, at the same time, I rolled a presence as well and got a 2. So
Yeah, we'll take it.
We'll take the 5.
So that means that randomly
Rocks fall, we all die.
I would say everyone does.
But you see a figure clad in rags. Someone who Greedo doesn't necessarily recognize, but you've seen characters like this before in this city. Common thieves, darts out of the shadows with a brandished knife and runs towards Josh's character, is what was randomly determined here. He's gonna try to stab you, basically. He's trying to shank you. So what I need you to do is make an agility roll for me, and you want to roll higher than a 12.
alrighty, an agility roll.
Or you want to roll 12 or higher, rather.
Yes, I failed my agility roll.
Okay, so now roll your armor.
Alrighty. Because that's it's a 16 though, because instead of a 12, the DR goes up to a 16 with heavy armor, right?
With heavy armor, it goes up to a 14.
I thought it was a +4, you said.
So it's a +4 to agility challenges, but it only gives you a +2 to your defense rolls because it's a little
I still fail
nice.
Anyway. It's not a nat 1, but it was real close.
Excellent. Okay, so then go ahead and roll your armor.
For that, I got a 5.
A 5. Okay, great. So you're gonna negate 5 damage, which means you actually don't take any damage. This guy comes up with this knife glinting in the moonlight and tries to stab you just out of fucking nowhere. And because of he gets to you, but because of this heavy armor that you're wearing, the knife kind of like glances off one of the plates around your waist.
Did its job.
Leaving behind this like smear of muck, of poisonous muck on the side of your armor. But he didn't get you, which means that we are now going to roll initiative. So we'll roll a d6. That is a 5, which means you guys go first. So who wants to go first? Yeah.
AJ.
Mac. Ball and chain.
Excellent. So go ahead and roll your strength. You want 12 or higher.
That is a 13 on the die and -2 for my strength. Makes 11.
You went success and then you went back under.
Swing this chain and this guy manages to, he gives you this like frantic, cracked out look and just kind of like ducks underneath the ball that swings by. Who would like to go?
All right. So as he just tried to stab me with the dagger, I feel like this is more of a knife fight. I have a short sword, but instead, could I try to stab him with my metal file?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is definitely the game
So
you want
that
to play
just
around
is-
with.
Is so that would be a strength check. So that's a 19.
Yep. That's definitely gonna connect. Yep.
What would the damage die on that be?
We'll call it a D4.
A D4?
Why not?
All right. All
Why
right.
not?
That's one damage, unfortunately.
Excellent. So yeah, you Brett, as he's dodging AJ's flail, and I mean this guy is real slippery. I mean, just to kind of dodge out of the way of you, but you cut him across the face for 1 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I go next?
Who else would like to go?
I
Yeah,
would.
by all
All right.
means.
I would like to swing a warhammer at him. That's a 2. That'll be
A 2 is a
no-go.
miss. Again,
Yeah.
this guy just like Neo in the Matrix, just dodging.
Who is
everything.
this guy, man?
Y'all should try the smaller weapons.
Right?
Is that the key? Okay, so we've got Gritter or
Why you don't bring a sword to a
Fred.
knife fight?
Fred, you can go ahead. I'll go
Okay,
last.
well, I don't know what else to do. I was about to throw something, and then I realized the only thing I have that's really useful is a bomb, and it doesn't seem like a good idea. So I won't
was
throw the
thinking that. I
bomb.
had to say
First
I won't,
encounter,
I won't
first
throw the
guy.
bomb. Not yet. Okay, so I'm going to just try to whack him with my staff. So I move up and
Yeah.
try to get him from behind. Oh, pass. 5.
5. So
What is wrong with us?
this guy just bobbing and
What is
weaving.
this? Who is this guy?
This guy is like the most fucking
It's-
well-practiced pickpocket criminal in the
He's
world.
surrounded and nobody's hitting him.
Yeah, this is ludicrous. All right, Gritter.
I hit him.
With the
Okay,
file.
I pull out my mace and I start charging, and
Hell
I
yeah.
yell, "Do not move from Gritter's mace."
Or what?
No, what? Was it? So I have to get over 12. It's an 11.
So you want to
so
11? Yeah, you want to hit a 12 or higher. So again, smash. Just
I
manages
specifically
to
asked you not to move.
What is
That's
this?
crazy.
And there's no bonus to it, right?
No, it's
Not for
just
me, 'cause-
you had your strength. Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
No, I have
This is
plus 1 to
indeed-
agility.
Yeah, so that's
My-
gonna
my
help you on
strength is 0.
the backswing. All right, cool. Well, who's the attacking now? I mean, no one's more of a valid target than anyone else. Wally, he's gonna come at you
Yeah.
at Greedo.
What if I lie about my roll? Can I do that?
Then you would hit him. Then you would definitely hit him. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and make an agility check. Again, you want to hit 12 or higher to dodge this this knife.
Okay, so 12 or
It's like,
higher.
oh, I can definitely do this.
I get
These
a
guys ain't shit.
I get a +1, and that is going to be a dirty 20 for me. So 19
Excellent.
and 20. Yep.
So yeah, so you dodge out of the way.
Nice.
That's his turn. So it is back to you guys.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna roll it. I swing with my staff and I got 11. I missed. Oh, this is terrible.
I'm gonna just keep with my. I'm the only one that's touched it, so clearly my strategy of the metal
Yeah.
file is working. So I'm just gonna keep that rolling. That's a 14.
A 14 is a hit.
All right, let me roll another D4 here. It's 2 damage this time as I
Damn.
shank him with my file.
Yeah, you.
Wow.
He's like, ah.
So
I see you've been to prison too. You've been in the dungeons also.
What's your character's name, Josh?
George.
George.
That's what I wrote down.
stepping
when
way
we
out
were
the box.
creating 'em.
So we've got Gritter, George, Greedo, Slag with G's on the end. I like it. I'll Warhammer this guy if you don't mind.
I definitely don't mind.
My
That
character's
is
name is Biden.
nice. I have a natural 12.
A natural 12. That's a hit.
Nice. With the Warhammer, that's a D6. Let's see what we can do with this guy. 3.
3. That's a huge hit. You fucking clock him up the side of the head. His teeth go flying. He's not
Yes.
quite down yet.
Oh my
But
gosh.
he's looking fucked up.
He's gonna need to take another file or two before he's done in.
So I just the second it was our turn, I rolled again,
Yep.
and I got a 20. So
That is a critical hit.
I
so
poke him.
this-
I take the miss. I missed him the first time, and then I poked him with it. That's how
you definitely just poke him with it, hit the jugular, and he just fucking goes down like a sack of potatoes, crumbles to the ground. He's dead. You survived. Well
But it was
done,
that
gang.
easy. It was literally like the third hit. Somebody got
Yeah.
him. We just kept missing so bad.
You guys
Yeah,
just
that
kept missing the
lasted-
first round. He
It
had
wasn't
7 hit
supposed to
points,
last
yeah.
more than one round.
No, I wasn't surprised. That was more so just an excuse for me to try to get you guys to learn how combat works.
Yeah,
But
very
yeah, no,
poorly.
you give him a little poke in the jugular, and he goes down.
Goes down like a sack of shit, and Wally's character hides in him.
Yeah.
He says, "Boop."
He's now garbage.
Yeah.
Ron style.
Garbage. I would love.
Um,
Can we go to the file store, because I think I need one of those. I need a file.
so everyone's gonna be walking through this dungeon with like nail files. Like,
Man,
Hold on.
that guy was wicked mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look around
So I'm going to
for-
get my tongs out and check his mouth for gold teeth, silver teeth, anything
that
might
is
be-
a very interesting idea. I am fully on board with this. Let me.
So
That's
I'm
cool.
gonna yank any teeth in there that look like they're in decent condition.
Yeah,
they're
he's
com-
got 2 silver teeth that are worth 10 silver each, and
What?
one
No.
tooth that's just a normal tooth, but it looks like it's in really good condition. So you could probably get some money for that. If you
What
can
is
find
this?
someone interested. in teeth.
Whatever, 40k, teeth is currency.
What in the world is going on?
Morky boys.
Gonna loot him right in the
Iron
mouth.
teeth.
Economics.
It's a pretty boy mouth you got there.
I go rummage
Yeah,
through
what
his
you got,
pockets.
bird mouth?
If somebody
He's
else
got
hasn't already
nothing
done
in
it.
his
Right in my mouth.
pockets. The only
Right
thing
now.
aside from his teeth he's got on him is he has a dagger.
Yeah, one of y'all might
which-
want to pick up that dagger. It's a lot easier to hit with. Let me let me assure you.
Yeah. Wow.
I've yet to miss.
Sure, you can
Okay.
throw a dagger, right?
Yes, you can throw a dagger.
That was
It is
Does
interesting.
that
Basically
use
a
presence then?
Yeah, so basically a dagger, if you're going to or a knife, I guess is what it technically is, also does a d4 like the short sword, but you can throw it if you want to. I mean, theoretically you can throw anything, but a knife is designed to potentially be thrown, whereas
Right.
a short sword you're probably going to suffer some
I
kind
am-
of penalty if you try to
I'm
throw it.
infamous in my gaming career for throwing any weapon.
It's a Zweihander
Battle axe,
shirt.
crossbow,
So,
ballista.
so Biden's got the dagger.
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm going to kick the body as we leave.
Of course we are.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Give him a kick.
Wow.
No,
Wow.
where do you
You
go?
guys are pretty ruthless. File, pulling teeth, and all I do is hide and dung, man. This is
You're like a little shit goblin. These guys out here pulling teeth out
Little
of
shit
corpses.
situation.
just hiding them.
I mean, look, he stabbed first.
Yeah.
He did.
Wow.
Overall,
deserved it.
successful
He-
encounter.
Done.
Well, he tried to stab first. He
That's
met
true.
armor.
That is true. He
What do you think
did
you
nothing
wanted?
first.
What do you think you wanted? You think he was trying to get her silver?
Death.
But
Yeah.
be inside me, obviously.
Hmm.
I get that a lot.
We're not in prison anymore.
So
Alrighty.
we didn't mention it, but this is actually an R-rated role-playing game. Okay, it actually says not suitable for anybody who is under 16 years of age, and so we're all adults. So if you're not aware, parental approval is not required because you shouldn't be here.
I'd like to
Okay.
complain to the dungeon about the lack of
Actually-
group shower scenes from that encounter.
I never noticed that, but it says really not suitable for those under 16 years. I never
That's it.
noticed that before. That's fun.
Yeah.
Brad, I'm
The,
only
Um,
17.
the Game Master Roundtable has had an MA-17 rating for a while now. So.
Yeah. Wally, do you have your ID on you before we play any further? I need to make sure that you're of age.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, show it on cam.
I'm sure the
Show me your
address is very
social
visible.
insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got whiskers
Um,
older than Josh.
Lead on,
Believe it or not, it's
Brigo.
actually my 30th birthday, so I just
Oh!
age well.
No kidding.
That's
Happy
not
birthday,
true.
man. That's
Mazel
awesome.
tov.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Happy
Cool.
birthday! Yeah.
Mork
Oh,
Borg
yeah.
on your 30th
That means that
birthday.
I-
That's one you'll never
That means
forget.
that means that I'm the youngest here.
Don't
Well,
worry,
as soon as we
the
get
Philippines
off
will age
here,
you.
I'm going on a scuba trip. So
Good for
should
you,
be
man.
fun.
Enjoy. That's awesome.
Hell yeah! That's
Make sure you
sick.
take a file.
Yeah.
Also,
We'll
something.
keep a file on me.
Yeah, in case you get attacked by any gutterborn scum. Something
Yeah.
I will also throw out there, which isn't necessarily, I don't think you guys did anything wrong in that encounter, but just something to be mindful of because we didn't talk about it. You do have those omens as well, so don't forget.
Oh
about
yeah.
those.
Yeah, I
can
can read a
come in
blasphemous
handy.
Bible. That's my only article.
Oh, right on.
That's just a
Well,
daily thing,
that
right?
makes sense for why you were in prison then. Yeah.
Oh my.
Were we supposed
I
to
can
roll
either
for
heal people or I
omens
see
or?
shit.
Right.
You
Yeah,
do
you sh-
roll for omens. You should
Yeah.
have a certain
Ah.
number of omens.
You should have one or two.
It's
I've got
1d2.
two. I've got two. But it's nothing specific,
No.
right?
yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
it's just like it's like a number. You have 1, 2, 3, or 4 omens, and you cash them in. So if at any point you can cash in an omen to do max damage on an attack, or to re-roll a dice, or to force someone else to re-roll a dice.
Yeah.
Considering that any battle can be life or death, basically the first chance I get, I suppose.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is like the omens are very like useful, and don't be afraid to use them because you don't want to be dead with 2 omens in the pocket. You know,
Right,
like,
right.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Also, it's not D&D rules with initiative where it's like, oh, you have to declare it before you know. If I say to you like, hey, okay, you take 10 damage, you'd be like, I want to re-roll my agility. Like, that's fine. That is
Yeah.
perfectly
Okay.
acceptable.
That's cool. Nice. Very good.
All right. So you you guys survive the random mugging
Nice.
in town. Make your way, travel for probably not even a full day. So you eventually get to the outskirts of town, pass through some of these ruined structures that have seen the worst of the decay and degeneracy of this kind of fallen kingdom, until eventually you get to the mouth of this ancient abandoned fortress that is like half embedded into the side of this mountain, half sticking out into the world.
That's camp here for the day.
Yeah, it's basically just a big stone archway with stairs leading down. When you look through, can't really see anything at the end of the stairs. If you want to camp, you can. I don't think anyone took any damage though.
Well, at least we'll
Yeah.
get out of the weather.
True.
So I don't know about all of y'all, but I'm more of a night owl myself, so I don't really need to rest right now.
I'm good to go.
George
You
is
look like
Southern.
human.
I don't know. I didn't get much sleep in prison. Not around you.
Hey, for the record, I said other people did. I'm not saying it happened. I'm just saying that it was. I get that a lot. You know, somebody coming out from around the corner with something they want to stick in me.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's why I was so ready and prepared with my shank. I mean, my file.
Can we all
I'm
just
still confused. I still do not see an owl around here. You said you're an owl? You look human to me.
I'm gonna
Can we
pull
cancel-
out a torch and light it with my my fire steel, ready to go into this place because I'm
Man.
assuming it's going to be
Is it-
dark.
Yeah, is it dark? I don't have
The
dark
passageway down is
I have
dark,
night vision.
for sure.
I have dark vision.
What's night vision? This is this thing you hear.
I believe that your character believes they have night vision.
Vision.
I ate a lot of carrots when I was a kid. What's a carrot?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Um,
Yeah.
I got a
So-
potion I can put in your eye if you want to see if that helps.
I guess I don't have my magical horse if I was stuck in a prison.
That's true. You know what? Given the horse situation, just for the sake of brevity, we'll say, you start walking down, you have this encounter with this gutterborn scum, and then you hear a familiar voice echoing from one of the alleys, like, oh, there you are.
No.
Oi,
What if it-
Bravna!
well, it's a magic horse. Who says it's a full-size horse? It could be a magic horse. It's
Like a
fits in your-
pony?
in your bag. It's a bag-size horse.
Oh, this is awesome! So now you're going to try to ride it through the
Well,
complex.
it's magic, so it's strong. You have to stand on like a skateboard though.
Every
Well,
time you
got
go through a
yourself
doorway,
thrown in
Should we
prison,
just
did
tuck it-
ya?
I tuck it between my legs and walk, making clip-cloppy sounds.
Where are we
Clip
going?
clop, clip clop. Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll say it's a pony.
Okay.
I was looking all over for you. Got thrown in prison.
Yes.
The pony talks.
I thought you were going for help.
I was going for help, and then I saw this beautiful mare in the field. You know what I mean? And I was like, they can hang out another few days.
You're as oversexed as a donkey.
Jeez.
He just like looks at you really serious. Never call me that. Never call me a donkey. I'm a horse. I'm a small horse, but I'm a horse nonetheless. All right.
All right.
All right.
Look,
Well, the torch
we'll
is
all
ready.
fall at
Are
the
you
best
ready
stage.
to go in? Because it's going to burn down eventually.
Like, standing there,
Something's gonna burn down.
watching the torch go down as we're watching this horse conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
So,
I
yeah.
guess let's go get ourselves killed.
So Slag's going
Right
first with the torch.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to push Greedo in front of me and have the torch.
I can lead the way. You know, I've
Yeah.
got my armor. It's proved the trick, or you know, it showed that it's up for the task of defending me.
Yeah, George. Yeah,
I'm
George.
gonna swap to my short sword for this though. So I'm gonna have a short sword in one hand and the torch in the other.
All right, I'll hand you the torch then.
All
I
right.
also think this guy should be going first. Look at him.
Yes, let the bird go first.
So you sorry, go ahead, AJ.
I'm going to light a torch as well, just in case.
Doesn't hurt. Doesn't
Yeah.
hurt.
2 torches.
So yeah, you start going down the steps. I mean, maybe you're even keeping track of them at first. You go through a dozen, 20, 30, 40, 50. Goes for quite a while. You spend a few minutes just kind of going down these steps that are literally carved out of the rock.
This is a
Thankfully,
bit
you have these
excessive
torches.
for a wine cellar.
You thankfully you have these torches to illuminate the steps. So there's no risk of anyone taking a tumble here. You actually will notice after you walk for a couple of minutes, there appears to be a little bit of a light at the end of this staircase. Not a bright, brilliant light like what would be coming from a hearth or anything like that, but a bit of dim light kind of leaking into the bottom of the staircase near the opening. As you kind of get there, you find yourself in a fairly large chamber that seems to be kind of carved roughly out of the stone all around. It's almost like a cave in a lot of ways. There is one lit oil lantern that's just hanging, kind of dangling from the ceiling, moving a little bit in the draft that's coming down through here. And there is also a small stream of water that crosses the room, kind of separating it. So there's like where you guys are, there's a stream, and then the other side of the room. It's not really like a rapid or anything, nothing that's going to actually hinder your progress, but there is a stream of water crossing the room. You'll also notice that there are all these like little holes in the walls. Like the walls are all pocked with these tiny little holes, and you can see these black and violet butterflies just kind of flapping haplessly over the water itself. To the north, so on the opposite end of the room, just on the other side of the river, there are 2 wooden doors, and you kind of see there's like a stone mason face. Like, okay, this looks like an actual structure on the other side of this room. And there are 2 wooden doors, one to your left, one to the right. And then, of course, the stairs behind you leading back outside. Then lastly, you can hear just ever so faintly, almost as if you're listening from like 3 blocks away, the sound of violin music. Just this mournful violin tune, just ever so faintly, kind of echoing through the halls, making its way beneath the cracks beneath the doors, and echoing into this chamber, reverberating off the water.
Well, at least it's a violin. If it was a banjo, I'd just take the for sure death up back in the prison.
Yeah, we've got a river and everything. Right.
Wow, there's a lot going on here. So which direction were the corridors again? So we've got a stream that's dividing the room, and then
Yep, so stream going from left to right, dividing the room in half. And then the doors are on the opposite side of the stream, one on your left, one on your right.
What's the oil lantern actually attached to?
So it's an oil lantern attached to a chain, but it looks, at least from here, like it's been kind of on a spike that's been like hammered into the rock of the ceiling. And it's moving a little bit. It's not like swinging around or anything, but it's just slightly kind of listing, and you can feel there's like a faint draft coming through here. Maybe even a few of the butterflies kind of flapping around the light source itself. If you kind of take a moment to stop and look around, you'll see some of these bizarre butterflies. They're like the size of your palm, like kind of coming in and out of some of these holes in the walls and that kind of thing.
I don't like the holes in the walls. They're triggering my mental trypophobia. I'm going to examine the holes in the wall anyway.
Yeah. You go up and kind of like hold the door, just look in. Nothing jumps on and grabs you. You would see there's some of these butterflies kind of like clinging to the inside. Like each one of these holes is maybe like 2 inches in diameter, and they're not perfect bore holes or anything. They're uneven. And you see these
Chat.
hell yeah. Shouts outs to Steve. Hope to see at least one of you at Gen Con. Great channels all around. Hell yeah, Steve. Thank you. Also, if
Steve, you're beautiful.
Maybe.
Just
Thank
so
you.
know.
Thank you,
I'll
Steve.
need about another
Appreciate that.
2,000 of those. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, to get AJ to Gen Con,
And I think the only one of us.
Gen Con, come say hi.
Yeah, Dungeon Dad will be there.
That's true. But yeah, so you kind of look in these holes and you see there's some butterflies clinging to the inside walls. Even further back in, you see that they kind of go off in different directions. Like it's likely that they're all connected back there, maybe. And you might even see way back little like caterpillars kind of crawling around and that sort of thing in there.
The nest.
Yeah,
Can I try to catch a butterfly?
Yeah, definitely. Why don't you go ahead and roll initiative? No, I'm just kidding. Why don't you? I would say that agility would make the most sense for that. Why don't you go ahead and roll an agility test for me?
Okay. All right. I roll agility. And hang on, it's in heavy armor, right? So
that's true. You do. If you're in heavy armor, the challenge on my end, it'll be a +4 to whatever the
yeah. So I only got a 9 for my agility.
Honestly, 9 is gonna make it because you only needed a 5 with your +4. So yeah, it is 9 exactly, actually, because there's so many of them. There's so many of them around. You try to catch one and like maybe it takes you a couple tries, but eventually you manage to kind of clasp your hands around one of them and you have it just kind of like in between your hands.
All right. I want to have a good close look at it and see if there's anything interesting about it.
Yeah. As far as you can tell, it looks like a butterfly. Something you will notice is that it has like little bits of pollen and stuff stuck to it, which seems a little weird. There don't seem to be any flowers or anything like that around here. But yeah, and also getting close to it and looking at it, you would detect like a very sweet smell coming off of them for sure. Like definitely a floral aroma.
Sweet. Can I eat it? I want to eat it.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
What the hell?
You jam it in your mouth, wriggle around a little bit, and you chomp it down.
He gets 2 new teeth, and now he's.
Fun thing about this, you you weren't injured, but you feel like you just downed a cup of coffee. Like you feel energized, like almost as if maybe if you were wounded, like this might have been a boon to you to eat one of these butterflies. You actually feel pretty good. Like you feel like you just, yeah.
The butterflies taste great, guys. You got to get yourself one of those. They're awesome.
I'm not gonna lie. My first thought was I was gonna eat a butterfly too. So you're not about it.
Yeah, no, these
Eating
these
the butterfly
butterflies
never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
pretty easy to catch.
It was like the first thing.
Yeah, you want to grab one of those, jam it in your mouth. Tastes great, less filling, baby.
No, what?
Does it come in diet?
Yeah, the purple ones are diet, the black ones are full flavor for sure. That's how the
Is there
coloration of the
gluten?
butterflies work. I think butterflies are gluten free. But yeah, no, they're honestly delicious.
That's so weird. So weird. Steve, thanks again for the super chat, man. Appreciate that. He's gonna be looking for you, Josiah. So
Hell
be
yeah,
at Gen Con.
that should be easy to find.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks about.
I'll be
thanks
wearing
a
my
lot, buddy.
Pokemon suit.
So no ill effects. We're watching him eat a butterfly, and he just looks happy.
No ill effects whatsoever. In fact, it
Yet.
tastes great. You know, it feels like that shot of caffeine first thing in the morning.
Wow. I so thought you were dead.
Yeah, I also had a similar thought, but
Wow.
I
well,
can't
now that
believe
we've
that
done
you
that-
ate one of them. To be honest, when I looked at this and was like, "Oh, the butterflies heal you," I was like, "No one's gonna fucking eat a butterfly." I love that both Fred and Bear were just like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna eat a butterfly!" Like, let's go. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful
is-
thing.
That's
I hate to
crazy.
say it. If it had been a hoo-hoo grub, I would have eaten that as well.
Mm.
I don't even
This
want to
does
know what
not
that
taste
is.
like butter.
If it had been a rat, I would have eaten
Yeah,
that.
hoo-hoo grubs are these great big black beetles that
Ooh.
bore into wood and lay a grub. They're witchetty grubs from Australia, essentially.
Oh.
The ones the
Mm.
Aborigines eat, and they don't taste like peanut butter. Don't believe what people tell you.
Wow.
Squeeze them on
Man,
toast.
I really wanted to make a joke when you called them a hoo something and they bore into wood, but I'm gonna let that go.
That was yeah.
Happy for the best.
Right. Well, while you guys are deciding whether you're going to have a butterfly, I'm going to go and listen at some of the couple of the doors, both the doors,
Okay.
to see if there's.
Oh,
any
I've
bugs.
already decided.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go off and listen to some. Well, I'm heading in the direction of the violin music.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. So you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Wally.
I do want to check out the lantern. And maybe I mean, I guess I'd be cautious about it and see, make sure it's not like gonna explode in my face. But if it's a light source, I wouldn't mind grabbing it.
It's a trap.
Yeah. You when you kind of get up close to it, it is hanging down within like, I'd say it's like, I don't know, 8 feet off the ground, so you might have to reach up. But it's by all accounts a mundane lantern.
Okay.
It's got a little latch on it. You could definitely unlatch it from the chain and
Yeah,
take it.
I'll
with
take
you
it.
if you want to.
Yeah, I'd like to take
Sure.
it. Cool.
Didn't
And
you write
also
a book about traps?
I did. That's why I'm surprised I
Yeah,
just got
see?
away with that.
You've got a lantern
Sweet.
with some oil in it. And it is
Nice.
currently
Hey,
lit.
thanks for the super chat, Itsy Bitsy Spider. And yeah, I've got 4 days left on my SILICONE Matte Kickstarter. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thank
If
you
you
very
haven't
much.
already, go do it.
Link is in the description below. So for those of you who haven't checked out AJ's Kickstarter, be sure to do that.
You two can have cheesy Batman like this.
You can cook
Uh,
pizza on it, just don't eat it.
Yeah. Well, it's cheese colored for disguise.
How,
can hide
how
on it.
deep is? Oh, sorry.
We're gonna say how deep is the stream?
I was.
Yeah, the stream it's about a foot. So like easy enough to hop over, or it's about a foot deep, a foot wide. So easy enough to hop over.
Okay, cool.
Shallow enough that you can see the bottom and the water running through. It's a little murky, a little muddy maybe, but
After watching them eat the butterfly and having nothing but positive effects, I'm gonna try lapping up a little bit of that water, just a little.
I knew it was gonna happen.
Some
I was just
stream
waiting for
water.
someone to drink the water.
Yeah.
I'll be upstream taking a piss.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a
No,
sewer.
absolutely. Absolutely. What I would love if you would go ahead and roll toughness for me. Just give me a
Okay.
toughness roll.
All right, tough. What I've got, that's a nat 1 with a +1, so a 2.
Sheesh. Okay. Fortunately, you can't crit fail on a check for something like this because it's not an attack or defense. But yeah, you start drinking it and you're like, oh, this tastes like muddy water. Right on. And then immediately your guts are just like, get that out of me. Hurl back on into the stream, maybe onto the ground around it.
Oh.
Yeah, that you feel like you just contracted some kind of disease, maybe. Um,
I'm gonna catch a butterfly and
feel
give it to
great.
George. George, butterfly.
I'll eat the butterfly now.
yeah, you eat the butterfly and you actually feel a little better. You're like, okay,
Alright.
okay.
Oh,
It's having the same
butterfly's a
effect.
lot better than the water.
It's having the same effect that like Tums has when you throw a mattress. You throw a couple Tums back, you throw a butterfly back, and you're like, all right, this ain't so bad. This ain't so
All right,
bad.
all right.
Can I try catching like multiple butterflies and throwing them in my bag? Like 3 butterflies.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll be straight up with you. Given the volume of them in here, once you start like just grabbing a bunch of them, they will start to leave. But I would say you can pretty easily, let's say, yeah, you can catch 3 of them before you run into any issues. You just scoop
Once-
up 3 of them.
once I realize they're being eaten.
Yeah, once you kind of start wreaking havoc on this population of butterflies, they will retreat to the holes in the walls here. But I would say
Understandable.
before that happens, you can pretty safely snatch up 3 of them to stuff in your bag for sure.
This is amazing. This is my favorite room ever.
We're like this is just the entrance, baby. Like we're
Oh,
It just
I go and I put my ear. I like lay down on the ground in front of one of the doors, whichever one I hear music coming out of, and I like try to peek under the door, like a toddler.
totally. So
You
I
poke
will
your fingers
say,
through?
I guess which one do you want to look through first? The one on the left or the one on the right?
Can I hear? Can I tell which one the music's coming from, or is it just kind of like?
So if you
all
stop
around
and
us?
listen, it is coming from both doors pretty well in equal measure. You get the impression that it's probably coming from somewhere like further in and it's kind of filtering through these rooms.
Then left.
Left? Okay, sure. So yeah, you hear what I just described. In addition to that, you don't hear anything else coming from that room. Like, doesn't sound really like there's anyone in there. I will say from beneath the crack in that door, you do see a lot more light coming through, like even more so than what was in here, kind of like the light that might be coming off of a hearth or something like that. You also get a faint smell of like rot, like not decay, but like fruit that is over long sat on a table, or like food that's kind of gone bad, like that kind of composty sort of smell kind of seeps in from underneath this door. But yeah, and of course you can kind of hear that violin music, and kind of peeking in, you would see, can't really make out too much, but it looks like legs of like furniture, like maybe multiple chairs or even a table or two. But that's all you can really glean coming from that room.
Can I find like a pebble that's small enough to like throw under the door?
Yeah, there's a river in here. I would say there's
Shoot.
probably some pebbles in there.
So I grab one. I
yeah.
just try to like throw it under the door, see if anything happens.
Yeah, you kind of throw that pebble in there. You hear it like skitter across the floor. No change though. No change in motion or noise or anything like that. You kind of hear it click across the floor, maybe bounce off one of these chair legs, and then it goes silent after that.
while Grid is checking this out, and currently while Biden is sleeping against the wall, I'm going to go into the corner instead of pissing in the little stream. I'm going to piss in the corner.
Excellent. Very what's the word?
Oh, that's a
Pastoral?
metaphor.
Yes.
Life
Courteous,
imitates
very
art.
courteous. Always. So in character right now.
Yeah.
It's impressive. You can't
But
teach
it's
that.
actually
You
a little
can't
scary
teach
because
that.
he's pissing in the corner right now. So he's just got to smell that the rest of the match. So
That's me in the corner, pissing away.
so I kind of turn around to everybody. I just kind of give a thumbs up, point at the door.
That's what's good. I guess the thumbs means good. Okay. Very good.
Or it means
Right
we're
on.
supposed to charge through it.
Mm.
Weapons ready.
Does the
Get
door?
out of the
Can I tell if it opens towards me or away from me?
So this door opens towards you. Like you would have to
Damn
pull it open.
I was about to kick it open.
And but you can, if you go to like test it, There's enough of a gap between it and the floor, and like the hinges seem to be greased well enough that it's not loud. Like it opens just kind of silently. So if you were to pull it open, you wouldn't be making much noise.
So it's a little suspect that you just mentioned the noise when I didn't even bring it up.
I'm just telling you what you see.
I'm just
and
saying
hear.
that's suspicious. That is suspicious as hell.
It's supposed to be.
I mean, look,
You know,
if you want to kick the door to make lots of noise, by all means. I'm not your dad. I just work here.
You're just my dungeon dad.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the floor in this room is not sentient, just in case anyone was wondering. What other
Thanks.
details? Yeah, no problem, no problem. But yeah.
all right. Whew.
So are we going through this door, or are we checking out the other one?
Yeah. Did you open
Let's
it?
go through this one.
Yeah, might as well.
I haven't. I was getting everyone's approval first
Yeah.
before I
Yeah,
opened the door.
one door at a time.
Sure, yeah. Go for it. Open it up. I'm gonna
Yep.
stand like 20 feet back.
Cool. I rip it open.
Yeah,
just
yank this
gotcha.
thing open. It opens quite easily. And what you see in front of you, I guess, would best be described as like a dining hall. It's a fairly large room. And this room is fairly warm, actually. Like you open it, you kind of feel this warmth coming out of this room, and it's very bright. There's on the left-hand wall like a hearth with a brilliant fire going in it. The music, while not coming from this room, gets a little bit louder as you open it up. You can hear it a little bit more clearly. This faint kind of sad violin music, which seems to be coming from the north end of this room, somewhere further within the dungeon. In the center of the room, there's a massive wooden table with like at least a dozen or so seats. On the table itself, there is tons of plates, spoons, all that kind of stuff. Basically everything you'd expect to see in a big dining room table. It is all set. However, there is no food or drink set out, and you can still smell that faint scent of rotten food, which is bizarre because as far as you can tell, there's nothing in here that is actively decaying. Probably the most notable thing in this room is the far end of the table. At the head of the table is sitting a bearded man, just this elderly gentleman who's kind of wrapped in these multiple robes. That's like a big pointed hood on. There's some like filigree and stuff around the edges. Very long beard that is just stark white. And his eyes are kind of dark and despondent, and he just kind of seems to be staring, like not even straight ahead of him, but like straight ahead of him down, like as if he's looking kind of like at the table in front of him. And as you open this door, he doesn't really seem to take notice of you. In fact, he doesn't move at all. However, you will also see there are two other doors, one on the opposite end of this room and one on the right-hand side, that are both made of wood. So you've got your two doors, big table in the middle, guy sitting at the head of said table. Yeah, that's what's in
What's
here.
the lighting situation? Was he sitting in the
Lighting's-
dark?
It's quite
or-
bright in here, actually.
Okay.
Because on the table itself, there's like a couple candelabras which are lit. And then also on the west wall on the left-hand side, there's that big hearth, which has like a roaring fire in it. And that is what is casting the majority of the light in here. So this room is even more well lit than the one you just came from. And then, of course, with you guys holding torches and the lantern and stuff as you come in, it gets even brighter. So yeah, this is basically like the brightest you could expect a room to be given the time period.
Right. Gotcha.
I wonder if that's the ancient man from the den, but he made it to the dining room to get something to eat.
I'm just gonna
From the
wave and say,
vision.
hi, how's it going?
You wave from the side and there's no reaction. It's as if he either doesn't notice you at all or for whatever reason is ignoring you.
Is he breathing?
Yeah, if you kind of take a few steps in, look around, get close. He is breathing. You can get close enough, like even like put a hand in front of his mouth. You can like feel his breath coming off. He is definitely breathing. This is this person who is alive. but he doesn't seem to be doing anything. He's just
Poke him.
kind of vibing.
Don't mind us. We're just looking around.
Oh,
I boop him.
You boop
Oh,
him,
no.
don't boop.
and nothing happens.
This is
You
creepy.
give him a little, and you know, you feel your finger sink into his nose a little bit. You boop him. He doesn't
Oh.
engage though. He does not react as in any way.
That's don't be booping things. Oh,
I'm gonna go check one of the doors. In fact, I'll go check both of the doors fairly quickly before any more booping can occur.
yeah. I'll check the other one. Whichever one he takes, I'll take the
Yeah.
opposite.
Okay.
For sure, yeah. So the north, so the door on the opposite side of the room, is just kind of a wooden door, also set on like proper hinges. It opens this one out from you. Did you want to? Were you just kind of investigating the door? Did you want to?
I just want to
open it
listen
a
at the
little bit?
door. Maybe if I can see through the keyhole or anything like that.
For sure, yeah. So listening at the door, you hear that same kind of violin music leaking through here, a little bit louder than it was before, but again, it's probably not coming from whatever is on the opposite side of that door. I will say, if you look through, I don't think this door actually has a keyhole on it, but there would be like a crack under the door you could peek through.
Yeah.
It is dark on the other side of this door. The other side of this door, you can't really see. Like the light being cast from in here goes for maybe 6-7 inches, and then you can't really see much beyond that.
I was like, Greedo, there's not much here. It's just dark. You got anything?
I don't know.
So you're looking through the
I'll do the
one
same.
on the east wall.
Okay.
Yeah. So look, kind of peeking at the crack under the door.
Mhm.
This door again opens towards you. Just kind of listening, glancing. You
Did the
you do
first
hear-
door open towards us?
the
No
first
way.
door that
Yeah, the first door
Fred
opened
was
towards
just
us.
looking at opens away. The first
Oh.
door you came in opened towards you. This door also opens towards you.
Okay.
Listening here again, you still hear the faint violin music. You can smell that same smell
Mm-hmm.
that's pervading this room, but it smells almost even stronger coming from there. So whatever is causing that scent likely
Coming
is
from the
coming from
this
that
door.
direction.
Okay.
And you also can hear like shuffling, not like rhythmic shuffling or anything like that, but like movement. Like there is probably someone or maybe even a few people
Right.
on the other side of that door.
I'll turn around and just like tell everybody to be quiet. Kind of just like tiptoe back from it a little bit and just give what I think. Relay that it smells like shit over there. There's there's scuffling feet. And I'm worried that might be the cannibal section, because remembering what the seer said, you know, I mean, I'm almost guessing maybe dead bodies or something. Would it be like a rancid like dead body, or you said like spoiled fruit though, didn't you?
More like a sickly sweet kind of stench almost.
Okay.
But yeah, being a little closer to the source, maybe it is
Maybe
rotten
it is.
flesh. Like it's kind of getting hard to tell. It definitely is starting to smell stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, it just caramelized or something, maybe to taste or something. I don't know.
Pickling people in there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll relay that information. I don't know if we should be too noisy or go that way, and maybe.
Oh
head
yeah,
that
I
other
totally
way.
forgot we even talked to a seer. That was like hours ago.
Yeah.
We walked
yeah.
through a whole.
No
study
problem.
since then.
I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm from the memory. You know, it's just yeah, that's me.
So I'll come over and a whisper. Like, what did you hear?
Scuffling of feet, and that's all I heard.
How many feet?
There's 3.5. Somebody's walking with a limp.
Pretty exact answer.
So 3.5 people or 3.5 feet?
3.5 feet.
Okay,
Yeah. But there is that rancid smell, and
cool.
yeah, it just it could be like their food source or something. I don't know. I'm making stuff up, but this stuff's creeping me out. There's definitely not butterflies over there. Definitely not butterflies.
let's try the other door.
Yeah,
try
let's.
the other door.
I would recommend the other door first. Maybe
Let's
if
go.
we need to come back to that. Does old boy at the table, does he stink?
He smells bad, but not like rotten decay.
Okay.
He smells bad like someone who just hasn't showered in a couple weeks.
All right. Very good. Cool.
He smells like maybe kind of sweaty and grimy, but he doesn't smell like rot.
Like you went to a magic tournament.
Yeah, he smells like a magic tournament at a convention.
There you go.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would recommend that we would go the other way.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So as long as that's the plan, you go to open that door, and cleanly, silently pushes open, and what you find in front of you is a very long and darkened hallway, like a big corridor. It seems to stretch on like maybe 60, 70 feet even. You will see on the opposite end of that corridor, there is like some kind of light source bleeding in. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what it is from this distance away. But basically, you're at the one end of a very long hallway that does not seem to be lit.
I'm going to pull out my rope and my grappling hook and tie it onto my grappling hook, my rope. And it's only 30 feet, but I'm going to toss it down the passageway.
I'm going to throw my torch to the opposite end of the passageway.
Hell yeah. So you biff your torch and you kind of see like it illuminates
Indiana Jones
the hallway.
style.
Yeah, as it travels down the hallway, illuminates, and it lands at about the halfway point on this hallway, and lightens up the area enough that you can see on the left-hand side of this long corridor, there's a massive painting of some kind. It's hard to tell exactly what it is from back here.
Is it on the wall, or is it a painting, attached?
It is mounted on the wall. There's a big painting. Now, Fred, you biff your grappling hook down and start to kind of like, you're pulling it and then
I'm dragging it along the ground. Yeah.
You start dragging it along the ground, and actually it catches on something.
Ooh.
Directly in front of the painting. It catches on, there's like a seam there.
I dive to the ground.
With the torch. Yeah, you dive to the ground. What the fuck? You dive to the ground. Nothing triggers right away. But you see where the torch is kind of illuminating that area. It's caught on a seam which draws your attention to the floor. And you see like a rectangular seam on the floor directly in front of the painting. That looks like could be a trap door, maybe. Like it's a rectangular shape with a line down the middle, almost as if it's two panels side by side directly in front of this painting.
Oh.
I'm going to commando crawl along the ground up to the edge of it with my knife out in front of me.
Yeah, you do so.
Like through a minefield, literally.
You get up towards where the seam is in this floor. You see a very kind of like benign, unexciting landscape is what this painting is. It's like a lake, many trees mounted on the wall, but on the floor, yeah, you see in great detail what appears to be a trap door.
You guys, as I'm crawling along, I'm making very quiet hey sounds.
And I guess I should mention this this rectangular seam, like it goes from one end of the room to the other. So like it's possible that maybe you could get over it in some way, but you have definitely stumbled your way into finding a trap. If you kind of like apply pressure, like you push a little bit, you feel there's like a little bit of give there, not enough that it falls, but if you were to step on this with the weight of a human body, it might fully fall underneath you. It's about a 10-foot gap.
Okay.
From this side to the other side of this rectangle.
I'm going to attempt a leap.
From the prone position?
No, I'm going to get up.
Okay.
I'm going to get up, do a little short run up, and then leap across.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to move up behind him so that
I'll see him in Valhalla, guys.
Yeah, we'll call for the sake of We'll call this a DR, I don't know, 8 test of strength.
Okay.
You're gonna run and
strength-
jump.
Bear in mind, my strength is -2. I'd be better off with you guys throwing me over this thing.
Give you bardic
I believe.
inspiration.
Here we
I
go.
believe.
And you got a 55% chance of success. You should be fine.
I can fly.
You got,
and
you got
I'm pulling
omens.
up. What I would pull out my tool. If he's a
With my -2, I get a 10.
Excellent. Yeah, you run and jump and like land on the other side. Look behind you. You've fully managed to clear it.
I put
fully
my
managed to clear
dagger and wedge it into where the edge of the trapdoor is, so everybody knows where.
Yeah.
Mm.
Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah,
That-
you've
what I
jumped
really
over
wanna
it.
know-
And do the whole like.
But you didn't bring the torch with you, so nobody can see it because it's completely
No,
dark
the torch
still.
is there. Like, I threw the torch forward, so
What, what's I want to come up a little bit. What's the painting of? Is it? Can we see the painting? Is it?
It's a landscape. I can actually show you exactly what it looks like if you look at your camera. It
Oh,
looks
right.
like
There it is.
this. It is like a landscape of a lake,
Beautiful.
and there are some trees.
Ah,
it's creepy in its darkness.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's very stark.
If there was a
But-
well in there, I'd expect something to come out of it.
Hmm.
I was about to say, I just want to jump through it like Mario style, Mario 64.
Yeah, jump into the
Just
painting.
jump at the painting.
there you go.
It's a portal.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You make
Well,
it. You make it to the other side. What's everyone else doing?
Yeah.
Well-
Follow suit, I guess. Right.
Well, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
You know what I want to know though, like Josiah, how much hops do you have in real life to think that 10-foot jump is just like a D8 type of roll? You're just like my jump. I'm like 15-foot jumps
I don't know.
all day.
I can jump-
so
I
it's
can
got to
jump a
be
20
like
foot-
pretty
I can
easy
jump-
to do.
I can jump 20 feet from a standing position. No problem. It's easy.
Wow.
I would
See,
join
I
the
can jump
Olympics, but it would
down
be
20
unfair to
feet.
everyone else.
I mean, my character had rickets as a child, and he's malnourished. I mean, all he eats is cheese. So
you made it across.
yeah,
It is. I do want to bring up. It is at the 2-hour mark. So,
Yeah.
it's up to you guys. Up to you guys. What do you want to do, or if you want to get us to a stopping point, or if you guys want to continue. Don't matter to me either way.
I would
I'm-
like to suggest that we jump this pit so that if anybody falls in it and dies,
have a new
that
character?
they can come back for new character next
Right.
time.
Okay.
All right.
That's a
fall
smart
in the
idea.
pit, and a new character crawls out.
Hey guys,
Comes
it's
up
me,
the picture.
your old friend.
Oh,
My next.
Yeah, all right. So we're looking for DR8 on strength here.
my little pony is at the other end of the pit, going,
Alrighty.
"Can't jump this."
So we're all just going down this
We're
hallway,
doing it.
jumping
Yeah.
the
Remember,
Okay.
remember omens. Remember omens. If you screw it up, you need to reroll.
right,
Can somebody throw my horse?
Oh, I forgot about the horse. I
I just
can
jump it
roll
on the
for him.
horse.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hell yeah.
I retrieve my rope and grappling hook, and I try to jump across.
At dawn we ride.
Okay, all right.
Play the Fire
Omen.
Mayor song.
Omen.
Yes, I'm using. I rolled a 3, and then my strength is like a 0. So
There it
that's,
is. That's
try it
fun.
again.
Yeah.
How many times can you use omens? By the way,
Once per
Once, isn't it?
roll.
there. Here we go. Oh, you. Okay, Tim Bun. 19. Okay. Phew.
Excellent.
All right. Very good.
What
Telling
did
you,
everyone else
the
get?
Kroll music works.
What about George? George, make it.
a very, very similar experience is to Fred's character, whose name I can't remember. I rolled a 2, I used my omen, and then got a 17. So I clear
Excellent.
I'll-
You were
I'll-
fated to make that jump.
I'll do it next then. Yeah, very similar to both of you. I rolled a 1, so I will be using an omen as well.
it.
And then I get a 3.
Oh,
Have you used a second omen?
You can only use 1 on a roll, from what I hear.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
One omen.
I only had
Okay.
one omen anyway.
You you
hi,
jump and you land like just 2 feet shy of it, and you're like thunk, and you're like, oh, I made it. and then just the floor disappears from beneath your feet.
Oh,
And you take a bit of a tumble here.
damn.
That connects to. Okay.
Connects to some.
Let's skip a couple pages here.
He's going to just roll about 66s now.
How much health do you have, Wally? I haven't rolled it. I just am curious.
6.
'Cause you are going to take some damage.
Yeah.
You have 6?
I do.
Okay. That's fine. You'll be good. You'll be
Yeah.
You'll be fine. I'm not worried even remotely.
Oh, of course. I would hope you weren't.
Imagine Doxy is puppy sitting right now.
We don't have the puppy yet.
Oh, you
I
don't?
visited the puppy. We get to take him home on the 21st.
So
Speaking of which, Wally, you take 5 damage.
Holy shit.
Oh.
What is this game?
It was a D6, so I mean, there was a chance for death if that makes you feel any better.
Well,
Wow.
Just bent, not broken.
broken.
You
Damn.
fall, and like you fall enough where like you register that you're falling. You know when you fall, you're like, oh shit, I'm on the ground. You fall, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm still falling, and then
Oof.
Yeah.
hit the ground.
Yeah,
That's
that's
when you
rough.
get that noise that comes out of you.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
You take 5 damage.
Damn. Damn.
And you find yourself in like a cramped tunnel.
Ooh.
Where there's like a passage going one way and a passage going the other way, and then there's like the shaft going up.
Yeah, speaking of the shaft, I just got it on this one. Jeez.
And like, yeah, it's a little claustrophobic. You're kind of
Yeah.
sitting in this like rocky cavernous tunnel. Does
Mhm.
not look like this isn't like masonry. This is bored through, like some person dug it out or some kind of creature bored through here. But yeah, you are in this rocky tunnel.
You are in the hell of broken legs.
And
Somebody throw down a rope.
Yeah,
Specifically for you also, that music, that violin music, you can hear it very distinctly coming from the right direction down that
Ooh.
tunnel.
Ooh. Now, does this look like something I could crawl down? Can I crawl that
You
way?
could definitely. What kind of armor? You don't have heavy armor, right?
I
You
have
armor?
a thick flannel shirt.
Yeah, you don't have light. You don't have heavy armor. That's the thing
Right.
about it.
Let's
You
all
could,
go down. I mean, it gets safer with the deeper you go, right?
the right hand way is wide enough that you think anybody could get through.
Uh-huh.
Going to your left, which is in the opposite direction of the music that you're hearing, it gets narrower and narrower. You
Mhm.
feel like you could fit through there, and pretty much anybody could fit through there. But you
Something
do feel like
like a funnel.
yeah, but someone wearing heavy armor would probably have a tough
Struggle.
time getting
Mhm.
through the narrow direction with their armor on, anyways.
Makes sense.
Not like the armor's going to save
And-
us anyway. So
And the violin's coming from the right.
From the right hand side, which is the broader end of the
Um,
passage.
I will relay that information to you guys. Like,
Well,
either throw me
say
a
yeah.
rope or
Yeah.
come down here because there's if you want to go check out that violin.
well,
Or
I
we
will
just split the party. You just go on your own.
I'm going to lower my rope and hook the grappling hook onto the edge,
Horse.
hopefully, and lower my and climb on down.
So
I don't
Fred,
know.
You said you're saying you don't want to jump down with your 1 health.
That's actually something I just realized. If either Fred or AJ failed that, you would have just died. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
because it's a D6 fall damage, so there would have been no shot.
No.
Yeah, crazy.
yeah.
I'm
Even
glad
if
you
it
guys
was
both
like
did it.
too much of a climb and my endurance couldn't handle it, I would die from a heart attack midway.
the D6. There's a chance we would have been broken, not dead.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
true.
There is a
I
1 in
mean, you
6 chance that you would have
exactly.
just like lost a foot or
Oh.
something.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna
I'm
gonna
going
ride the
down.
horse down.
Fucking keep forgetting
What's
about
going
this
on?
goddamn horse, the talking horse.
It's like Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon, and
yeah.
Unicorn.
I feel like you start climbing and the horse like jumps on your back and he's like, "Hey, get us down there!" Like,
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
fucking climb this thing.
Firemen carry the horse down.
Wow.
Oh god.
Very
It's
nice.
not that I'm like weak. I'm just constantly exhausted from carrying the horse.
The horse is really taking a toll on your physical health.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I feel like this is then, if we're gonna wrap up, a good spot to kind of wrap up, and
Yeah.
then in a couple weeks when we reconvene, we will do the rest of this dungeon crawl proper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
The horse
Cool.
thing is
Awesome.
really going to pay off in the final scene.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt that horse is going to be the difference between ultimate destruction and world peace for sure.
Reminds me of
Right.
this.
Just BBEG all along.
Ran a supers game one time, and there was a guy who was playing Possum Man, and right at the start of the game, he started playing dead, and every single time it came to him, and he's just like, I'm still playing dead, and then right at the end, he jumped up and caught the bad guy.
Oh wow.
It was just
I
like,
love it.
yeah.
Beautiful.
How
Well,
funny is it going to be if the horse is the only original character left? The rest-
Well, yeah, exactly. We'll be like 10 characters deep, and then the
And then-
horse.
Brands
Oh,
himself with another little symbol of a dead party.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, the horse is
Yeah.
fucking death.
It's actually
Anyways.
his dungeon.
This was the plan all along. But yeah, that was fun. I
was
hope
good.
You guys had a good time. It's
Good.
fun making characters, doing a bit of dungeon crawl. Thank you so much to the audience, the chat, for joining us. We'll be back with a full stream of just hot, spicy Mork Borg gameplay. Maybe we'll eat some more butterflies. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anything.
Will you join us? Yay or nay?
Eat some more butterflies or eat some more trap. That's what I want to do. Jeez.
I mean,
Someone's going to die now. The odds of someone dying have increased quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah. I was like the front runner of surviving. Now it's just like, man.
that's the thing. You had everything. I
Yeah.
fully was like, Wally's going to be the one to make
Yeah.
it through this, and now
Yeah.
you're on equal footing with everyone else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Crazy.
George isn't too bad. George has got heavy armor and 5 health, so
That's pretty
he's
good.
feeling confident.
Yeah.
George has a pretty girthy setup for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not to mention all of
actually,
his,
you wanna watch-
elixirs and potions.
He's just got a fucking cabinet of Advil and
I imagine
weed with
so.
him.
Like, did anyone watch the Disney Hercules movie? I imagine he walks around with a cloak where he's just like, instead of want a sundial, he's just like, what a potion.
Yeah. What if got watches? We got sundials here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very good.
Actually, my priest actually has 8 health.
What?
Oh, hell yeah.
What?
Wow.
Listen,
Oh, my goodness.
I did a randomize, so I didn't even roll. That's not. I couldn't have even cheated that one. I linked it in the thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
eight health is very good. That's
Damn.
that's a
I didn't know. I
spicy-
genuinely didn't know you could get 8 health, a starting character with 8 health. I honestly had no idea. I've only ever the
Toughness,
highest
man.
I've ever had was 4.
Wow.
Alex,
I-
how come you're not in the front? How come you decided to? You to be very quiet about all
I
that.
was about to go, and then Josh is like, "I'll take." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you
you've
move.
got heavy armor. You're the beefiest boy we got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know, I got-
Josh also has a file, so that's
Yeah.
looking-
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. He's
Favor.
he's the one with the file, so yeah.
Yeah, but did he
Yeah.
boop with the mace for crit?
Yeah. That's
So,
true.
you
That's
know.
true. That's true.
That's
All right, guys. All right.
No,
Well,
I would say overall pretty successful so
Yeah.
far.
yeah, very good. Well,
It's definitely got that old school hairy, I'm going to die any minute vibe to it. So
yeah,
I like it.
absolutely it does.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
It's like
Awesome.
DCC funnel, but the funnel never ends.
Yeah.
Uh,
Awesome. Well,
Kind of shit.
before we go, everyone that is still here, if you haven't checked out AJ's Kickstarter, link is in the description below. Only a few days left. Share it with your friends, and let's get that across the finish line. And I believe I put links for everybody's channels in there as well, so make sure you go and subscribe to everyone. And anybody else got anything before we get out?
Aliens are real.
yeah, UFOs are real. It's because aliens are real.
Get your
Well, they
silicone
would be
battle
if we
mats. It's
didn't
the
live
only
in a
thing to protect you from
simulation.
the Vita rays.
Wrap it around your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Put them
Awesome.
across your cat doors because that's how they come into your house.
Yeah.
All right. You heard it here,
Thanks,
folks.
Wally. Thanks, Josiah. It was fun.
My pleasure.
Good times. Looking forward to part 2. That will be in 3 weeks. I believe that is August 17th. That is a Thursday night, 7 p.m. Chicago time. That's my time. Whatever it is your time. That's just a little bit of math for you. It'll be fine. So-
Daytime.
Little
Definitely.
puzzle for you, chat.
yeah, a little
for
puzzle
chat
for
to
you
think
as we leave. So come and watch my character die from
about.
falling in
Very on
traps.
brand for Wally.
Yeah, watch falling in traps on the Trap channel. All right, all right. I'm gonna
That's
get
so funny.
It's technically taking place over 2 days because we're in a different time zone. So
yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone, man.
yeah, absolutely.
That's so funny, Wally, that you're the trap guy and you
Yeah.
fell through the trap.
Yeah, my die rolls were not good.
Trap you knew was there.
Well, to be fair, it could have happened to
I
any
mean,
one of
yeah,
us because we were
that-
all rolling really bad.
That became less of a trap and more of a like
Skill
cool
challenge.
jump, really. Yeah.
It was the new lantern. I'm just like, ah, my eyes. Oh well.
Like maybe you saved us though. Maybe you found
Maybe I
a cool
did.
passage for
Yeah.
the rest of the party. Yeah.
I'm gonna lead
No,
you to
there's
the
no-
violin
there's
man
so
stuff.
much. There's so much.
Or
cool
you're
stuff
leading us
down
all
there.
to our death. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, a melancholy violin. What could go wrong? Tune in next time. All right, I will take us out of here then. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for the super chats. Thanks for hanging out in chat, and we will see you guys in 3 weeks. Take care, everybody.
Right?
Wait, I gotta find the exit screen.
Fine.
This is
Some
awkward.
Let me
friend.
out of this thing.
I mean, you know, getting here was hard.